exciting. I mean, before Monavie, Gina had to fly around for 24 years with pilots and flight attendants. I flew around with my boss. That's exciting, right? So a lot of people say, you know, they don't really realize where we came from. I mean, she would leave 3 to 4 days a week. Got 4 kids. So now we get to goof around and have fun together, travel around the world for the rest of our life. So we're looking for people that want something more. We don't know what you want. Everybody wants something different. I just wanted to bring my wife home from work for 24 years. Couldn't find a vehicle. Like Gina said, Monavie's a vehicle to get you where you want to go. If you treat it like a business, you're going to have to treat it like you put in $100,000 to $250,000. You don't have to put that money in, but you got to treat this like that because the potential is unheard of ever in your life. It's hard to believe it, so you're going to have to, that's why they brought us in. So you can say, hey, look, if these guys did it, they got the pictures. Anna's been to our house, so come and talk to her. She's rode on my bus. My dream was always to have a big bus. I don't know why, I just wanted a bus. Right? So I said no to Monavie. If you're brand new, I don't know how many people are just guests, seeing it for the first time, but this is a great opportunity that you came as a guest, because not only can you hear the opportunity, but you'll understand a little bit of what you're going to do. You can't learn everything in one sitting. It's like you trying to teach me your job in one hour, a couple hours teaching me your job. I couldn't learn that. But you can see one thing, that something must be going on because there's a lot of people here.
Yeah.
You might even want to take a picture if you invited a guest that didn't show up and say, hey, it's a good thing you didn't come because they used up all the chairs in the hotel. There ain't no chairs left. Okay, that could be a little tip for you of how I got this done. Dave's got to know me, right? Ingram's got to know me, right? We don't look desperate. When someone says no, no big deal. I mean, think about it. Like my brother, he's not, Gina's 2 sisters and their husbands, my 2 brother-in-laws, we've never had more fun in the last 6 years building Monavie together. Never spoke as much as we have in the last 6 years. We helped their sister here. How about that? When they signed up, they didn't want to get in, but because they signed up, she's able to spend $150,000 cash so she could have a cochlear implant so she could hear. That's what she said. That's a blessing. Okay? So we had no idea when we got in that we would be able to do that for them. Neither did they. We just got in. But they both made over millions of dollars with us, my 2 brother-in-laws and sister. I'm like their best brother-in-law now. Okay? So that's a good thing. By the way, give me another glass, because I didn't pour a big glass of juice, because I drink a bottle a day, all right? Monavie. And I drink as many energy drinks as I can. Oh, it's a good thing Steve got out of the seat, right? And some of you, that when you come to a meeting like this, we do this all the time since we started. The first meeting, some of you are in Onyx's group, the first meeting I did for her was about this many, about 50 people. And I was so bad that she took the marker out of my hand, sat me down, said, did anyone understand a word that she was asking her friends, did you understand a word that he said? And she said, I didn't think you did. Let me explain what he meant to say. And she signed up all her friends, and I was there supposed to be the one doing the presentation, but they all got in. Now, that night, my friend Matt, my neighbor, who's hasn't had a job with me for the last 5.5 years, that's pretty good to help your friend not have a job for the last 5.5 years, driving around a Rolls Royce, Monavie down the side, you've seen it, right? Anna's seen it, okay? So you come up to her and ask her why she's so excited about what can happen. And we want that for, you know, we just want you first to get to like we wanted, 500 a week. How about that? You know what I mean? How about 1,000 a week? Let's just get, because once you start to succeed, it's kind of like if anyone ever told you can't win at something. Like when my relatives, my aunts and uncles told me that when I was 18, I left my house to go water skiing because I wanted to be a world champion. They all said, you're not going to school, so you're going to amount to nothing. Well, once I went back home, this isn't so great for my kids to hear, because they all, you know, when I tell everyone that, hey, look, we're successful, and I negotiated my way out of high school, told the teachers, if you don't pass me, I'm coming back, and they let me go, and never went to school again, okay? So a lot of times my son will, when his tutors are saying to him, well, you're going to have to go to college and get a good education to be a millionaire. No, my dad's a millionaire, and he didn't go to school, all right? So that's not a good thing, right? But I will tell you what happened was they all said, hey, you're not going to succeed. That drove me, just like Gina said, okay? So I went down there, became a world champion, traveled around the world, had to get more pages in my passport before Monavie. Now I had to get another passport after I got Monavie because I get another passport with more pages. Once you've been there and you're a big dreamer and you understand that you got the freedom to go around the world, it's different than a person who's never been able to be able to travel around the world. So we went back home. I was married to Gina. We had our own $500,000 water ski company, her and I, okay? And then my relatives all said, we always knew you could do it. So, and I didn't forget that. I knew what they said, but I didn't like confront them or anything like that. I just know when I got in Monavie and people said, hey, this will never work, it'll never last, and you could never do it, I just said to myself, I heard that before, I must be doing the right thing. Where other people, they've never had that before, some of you are nodding, you get what I'm saying. So, anyways, something's going on right here. If there's this many people, as much as you've said, we've been kind of going around Europe, and we've been trying to use what we've been learning to help everybody. A lot of it's just your own, what you're saying to yourself. Like, people have been saying in Israel for a while, oh, it's a little tougher here. Then they said in Germany, it's a little tougher here. And then they say it in London, it's a little tougher here. Well, if you ever went on the street in America, and you interviewed folks, business people, and go to New York, then go to Miami, then go to San Francisco, 3 huge cities, and ask them, what do they do for a living? You won't find one person that does network marketing. Not a one. All right? It's not a common way to make a living, right, anywhere in America. And I've helped 102 friends. So, like Steve said, I helped 7 personal friends. And underneath my 7 personal friends, 102 friends make $1 million so far in Monavie. If I can do that in America, we can do it. It's no different. We know that, I mean, if you're a guest tonight or today, we know how you feel. We didn't want to do it. My friend called me 12 times. I hadn't spoken with him for 10 years. Then he finally got a hold of Gina and said, I got this nutritional beverage. We're going to promote word of mouth, multi-level type. And Gina said, great, call Steve. And she said, hey, Bob's going to call you about a multi-level network marketing, promoting a nutritional beverage. Take his call. Yeah, right. Every time I saw him call, I didn't answer the phone for a month. So we're just as cool as you are. Thanks, Steve. All right? I'll try to stay away from that board there. All right? People have been saying at these events for 6 years since we've been in, they'll come here, and not one person that I've met in 6 years that has got their head in the game in life anyways, doesn't want to have want to feel better from the Jews, okay? Doesn't want to feel better. We have tear-jerking testimonies from the Jews. Doesn't want to look better from the reveal, okay? The testimonies we have from I've never seen more friends and relatives lose weight in my life and keep the weight off. I mean, most of the time somebody my friend Lee that Gina was talking about lost 67 pounds and he's kept it off for over a year. I mean, most people, you lose 67 pounds, you're afraid to go out to eat with them because if they eat one of the little croutons, they blow right up. Okay? Monavie, you lose the weight, you keep it off. Tear-jerking testimonies on the products, okay? And so who wouldn't want to look good, feel good, have their wife look younger, okay? And make an extra $1 million on the side. Not one person. Every person I met said, yeah, I'd like that more. Now, I'm not, but then as soon as they said that, not everyone in 6 years, but a lot of people would say, oh, I wonder if that'll work for me, including me. I wonder if this would work for me, okay? My friend was making $1,400 a week. My friend's friend was making $4,000 a week. I wonder if that would work for me, okay? But then they come to a meeting like this and say, well, these guys, you know, they're dropping the board, they're unorganized, they don't have enough chairs, okay? Usually the sound doesn't, Steve's making us look good. Usually we don't have the sound work. My 2 brother-in-laws who are farmers are running the sound. They're like, these guys are a bunch of knuckleheads, they don't know what they're doing. Well, we're the top guys. That should give you hope. Okay? So, anyways, we're here to let you know that anyone could do it. That could make you a little nervous, so now you know you can do it. Okay? Because some people are a little afraid of success. Don't be afraid of it. Just start doing the activities that you need to succeed and get a little bold. I mean, think about it. If this many people are excited in London already, or in England, the UK, wherever y'all came in from, there's this many more. Yeah. And all of a sudden, everybody in Israel, everyone in Europe is starting to get it. They got to start speaking instead of saying, hey, people are different here. I've been doing this for 6 years. We started in the America. The only place Monavie was open was in the United States. Okay? And the first thing people said is, I've never heard of Monavie, and I've never met anyone in this industry that made any money doing that. And I said, so? My friend Charlie's making $4,000 a week. What if this is the one we make money? Yeah. And people started signing up. I mean, we had no credibility. No one said, well, you got to be first to get in, okay? Well, we were a year and a half after Monavie started, we got in, so someone's going to say that to you. So be ready. I'm just trying to help you on things that you need to say to people, okay? 50,000 people signed up before us, and if you had to be first, then they all would have the free Lamborghini and the $1 million bonus, but we passed them up, so you don't have to be first. Yeah. This is perfect timing for you to get in London. I was telling some of the folks earlier, Steve, I didn't get to talk to him this, but he agreed with me, that out of all the meetings I've done, including the last one, there's never been as much energy in the room in London than this meeting right here. Okay, so, and some people, now this meeting has got more people in it than it's ever had since I've spoke here. Now, there might be some corporate events where they know how to have even more people, but for myself coming here, just showing up, as I show up, grab a seat. There's 3 here. If anyone needs a seat, there's 3 seats here. Don't be afraid to take a seat. I'm going to be, here. I'm going to, like Gina said, I'm going to give everything I got to tell you what we've been doing and what to say to people, how to say it. So a couple things, a couple goals to make it happen, and what you need to be thinking a little bit when you're talking to people, because our 2 biggest goals right now is to help our friends, you're our friends, succeed. Win, beat the odds. What do you want to call it? Maybe you're already very successful. Be careful with that, because good's the enemy of best. My brother's got a great job as a accountant. Okay. Well, guess what? His father-in-law owns the firm, and he'll probably take it over, no problem. But the father-in-law is 70-some years old, and he's still sitting in the office. So he's 4 or 5 years younger than me, my brother, and he's going to have to work till he's 70, sitting in the office. We've been on 26 free trips in 6 years. Okay, so I mean, maybe you see yourself working in a cubicle or an office for the rest of your life, but we wanted to live life now. The hardest part about London and America is we've been taught by our parents and then professors in a big way that we need to get up early. Okay, if you want to work out, the reason why we lost so much weight since we've been in Monavie is because you can work out at 10 o'clock in the morning instead of 5 o'clock. It's hard to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning every day. Okay, so we get to so we're actually brainwashed to get up early, sit in rush hour traffic. Does that sound familiar? Okay, in Atlanta, where my brother lives, about 2 to 4 hours of traffic each way every day. Go and work in an office and then come back home. I mean, even if you got a good job, would you agree it's just a job? Yeah. I mean, my friend Corbin was making multiple 6-figure income, thought he had a great job. His boss, who he thought was his best friend, called him in one day and said, "Hey, you're making too much money. We're going to cut your pay by 2/3. Yeah. Keep that smile on your face, okay? Or you're fired." That's what's going on in corporate world. So don't think that your company is. Look at Gina. They cut her pay in half. Okay, that's exciting. That's what's really going on. So whatever your friend says, I will tell you this much. You can tell this. Take this from experience. I've been in for 6 years, and every person that said no to Monavie or got in and didn't build it went on to do whatever they were doing. They all still are sitting in their office every day, or they're flying around on the airplane, whatever. Okay. All I'm saying is I know that much. And personally, I don't believe we have any competition. The only competition we really have is people's perception of what we do. But no problem, we can do that. I mean, people used to never drink bottled water, right? Now they drink bottled water. People never, I mean, can you imagine your grandfather when they came to say, "Hey, we want you to pay us £100 a month for cable TV"? He probably slammed the door in their face and said, I got channels already, I don't need cable TV, right? Well, now people's perception is you're nuts if you don't have cable TV. So, beware. When is the opportunity an opportunity? When everyone sees it, or when everyone knows it? It's too late once everyone gets it. So you hope that everyone is kind of rolling their eyes back or like, "Oh, how big could the Aki Berry be big?" That's what they said to me. You're hoping that they're not getting it, because your goal is to take the phone, the people in your cell phone, and change their perception like I did my friends. And if I could do it with my boss beating me up saying, "Hey, you got to do some more sales or whatever," because I mean, after I became a world champion, that's exciting. But you want to know how long it takes for people to forget you're a world champion? About 2 weeks. Then you got to go to work just like everybody else. So it doesn't matter. So. But the good thing about that is if you've been around the world, you had that mindset that, you know what, you could do anything and you could travel and you could have some freedom. Because I did for 25 years. Kissed my wife for 15 years of our marriage and say I'm going to work, and went skiing every day. Okay? The great thing about my career was everybody in my boat, because I specialize in barefoot water skiing, I trained the British team many, many years. Okay? they all sat in the boat and they all said, man, we wish we could, you got it made, we wish we could be you. I'm like, well, you're an attorney, what would you want to be me? He said, no, you don't understand what we have to do every day. You get to ski every single day. Well, you're a doctor. No, you don't understand. I got to see 50 to 100 patients every day. You've traveled around the world. I wish I could have the freedom you got. No, but you're a dentist. No, you don't understand. I got to bend over and breathe bad breath every day for the rest of my life. So I already knew what everybody was thinking before I even started Monavie. Because they've been in the boat for 25 years. They all wish they were me, skiing every day, traveling around the world. So I always was confronting them saying, well, you told me you were miserable. It doesn't matter if I'm talking to the attorney that was in the boat or the attorney that's in the office. You said you were miserable because you only get paid when you're there. In Monavie, you can stay as long as you want, like right now. Who wouldn't want to be able to have the freedom to travel around with their wife? Or when we were in Australia a couple months ago with my daughter watching her win the World Cup. If the tournament gets stuck because of rain delay, all my friends who are doctors and attorneys, they got to get back home and they're nervous because the tournament is in delay because they're not getting paid, because they're not in court or they're not seeing patients. They're like, well, Steve, how come you're so relaxed? They said, well, remember that Monavie thing I showed you? And when you said it wouldn't, I wonder if it's going to work or not? Well, it worked. And by the way, if I send my friends in London that I'm actually with my wife and my daughter, and we had a rain delay, but no big deal. Because of Monavie, we get to stay longer. And we don't have any problem because our pay is, all my friends are like so excited because they want to be able to stand down with their daughter or son or family or wife or husband and not have to worry about, so they're running faster with me actually being away from them. Because they are like, man, he can stay as long as he wants. I want to have that same option. So my pay is actually going up with me not going home. You see, like it's a whole different, if you help 102 friends make $1 million, you think they're going to quit? Okay? God didn't give me a lot of intellect. Sad to say, He gave me common sense. Okay? I've actually got all their pictures right here, so if anyone wants to know, we can call them up and see how they're doing. By the way, if you understand this industry, Steve will help me on this, that the company will actually be shut down if they don't tell the facts. Every 25 days, a new millionaire is created in Monavie. Here's my friend that made $1 million so far. Okay? Last time I was here, there was only 1 page. Now we got 3 pages. Okay? 102 friends that we've helped. They're all here. Every 25 days, a new person makes $1 million in Monavie. These are just the people that I've helped in North America, not anywhere else in the world so far. Okay? So, and like Steve said, people like, oh, like you got one of these at your office with all the people that have made $1 million so far. Okay? Gina talks about going to Hawaii. It's our 6th trip. We went on 6 free trips to Hawaii. Like, oh, go into the office on Monday and ask your boss, how long do I got to work here before I get a free trip to Maui? They give you money before you go, $1,000, $2,000 okay, before you go. They give you a rental car. They take for all the meals, the luau's, everything. A paid-for trip, not time off. A paid-for trip. You don't ever have to take a vacation in your life again once you build Monavie. I mean, 26 free trips in 6 years, that's pretty crazy, okay? So we've got proof, it's right here. Now all these pictures are online. You can actually listen to every one of these guys' documentary and listen to them. There's 200 testimonies of the product and the opportunity online, because we've just hired a guy called Jeff Cohen. He's our chief marketing officer, and he took CNN from the basement. Remember cable TV? He actually came up with many of the TV shows on CNN, or Turner Broadcasting, should I take it? But because of his credibility, Ted Turner called him up and said, hey, can you help me with, because he was the vice president of CBS, president of NBC, then he became the president of marketing for Turner Broadcasting, took it from the basement to where CNN is today. Pretty big, all around the world. Every country I've been so far, they got CNN. Jeff Cohen did that. He's helping us change people's perception of the industry. That's why we've got Mark McDonald, okay? Was he just here? Mark? In fact, Clifford, right? Is it Clifford? He was driving me around and said he was with Mark McDonald a couple weeks ago, right? A couple weeks ago? 3 weeks ago, okay? And I said, isn't he a great guy, his attitude? I mean, every time you pick somebody up from Monavie, they got a great attitude, don't they, Clifford? I mean, isn't that good? I mean, just hanging around positive people, okay? I mean, if you knew that you were stuck in a cubicle for the rest of your life, you'd be negative, with no hope out. With Monavie, you got hope, okay? So Mark McDonald is the fitness guru for CNN.
Yeah.
Now he's our spokesperson for Reveal. Do you think that'll change people's perception?
Yeah.
Slowly but surely, we're using what Jeff Cohen learned. He actually came up with the concept of paying your bills online. I don't know how it is here in London, but in America, everybody pays their bills. I mean, every single person, but it's not. If you told someone you're paying your bills online, they would think that's no problem. It doesn't matter how you pay them, but that's, so he came up with that. He said it took him 15 years for people's perception to change. So just be a little patient. Who wouldn't want to be able to run their business out of their house? And the bigger it got, the overhead stayed the same. Here's common sense, first of all. Would you agree that if you'd like to make $1 million, they even have songs nowadays about being a millionaire, okay? So if you'd like to be make $1 million someday, and would you agree we probably need to? Okay? Would you agree that if you're involved in an opportunity where people are becoming a millionaire every 25 days, somebody is, you at least got a shot at it?
Yes.
Is that common sense? Okay? So Monday, when you go to work, ask around. Have you made $1 million yet? Have you made $1 million yet? If nobody in your office has made $1 million, you're probably not the only one. Does that make sense? Okay? You know where you're going to want to be in the next, where you're going to be in 20 years? Just like my brother. He's going to be in 20 years. If you know somebody in your office, look at him. You might even can picture him right now in your career or your office that's been there 20 years longer than you. Now, this is what you want to say to your friends, because remember, you're changing their. You got to get them thinking a little bit. Because their dreams, like Gina said, the dust on their dreams is a foot thick of dust. You got to start blowing their dreams off, okay? Where are you going to be in 20 years? Ask your friend. Well, you wanted me to help you out? If you picture somebody in your office or your career that's been doing it 20 years longer than you, that's you in 20 years. Are they all fired up?
No.
Okay? That's going to be you in 20 years. If you don't do anything different, that's you. So, I got quiet in here, right? Okay? Would you agree that in today's economy, you need to figure out a way that you can make money 24/7, round the clock? You need, just buying yourself a local store or even a franchise just right here. What's a franchise they got here? They got McDonald's here? Okay. So, by the way, Subway they have? Okay, in my business in America, I got one friend that has 3 Subways, and he's building one. I have every career, almost in everything. Franchising, I got one guy that owns FedEx. FedEx is pretty big. He's got 4 routes, okay? Cost him $500,000 for the trucks and the route, and he wants the freedom. He makes money, but he just wants the freedom that we've got, because when he leaves, most of the time if you leave your company or your career, nowadays you can't hardly even leave your career, because if you left for a month or 20 days like Gina and I are on the road, right? You'd probably come back and your job would be gone. Or you'd have this much, I mean, even if you get to stick at your career nowadays, like they lay off 5 people this week and you're the only person left, you think you're excited about it on Friday, but Monday when they give you all the work from the other 5 and they don't increase your pay. Think about that. It's a whole change in jobs aren't what they're cracked up to be anymore, am I right? You want to have the freedom of a cottage-based business that you can build around the world. How do you build it around the world? Well, you start by building it locally.
Yeah.
Probably the biggest mistake I've seen in some of the foreign countries is because you've got so many different countries around you, as soon as somebody gets in, they want to tell you, I know somebody in Poland, or I got somebody in this country. A lot of times countries that aren't even open. They want to build it there. Well, we built it right in our own little town. America's a big country, so we could have built it all over the place, but you can't create momentum. Does that make sense? If you're building it all over the world, it costs a lot of money to go there. So I'm telling you, you're better off building it right where you're at. That's what I learned from my upline, Brig and Lita Hart. Build it right in your own area within a 3-hour radius. I mean, okay, you want me to go to Poland? Do you have a neighbor that might want their aches and pains to go away, look better, feel better, lose a little belly fat, and make $1 million? Well, I don't know. Well, let's talk to your neighbor before we fly to Poland. You see what I'm getting at? Create momentum and synergy right where you're at, because now when we go to different countries, see, right what's happening here in London is the exact same thing that happened in my little town called Lantana, Florida. It used to be the home of the National Enquirer. If you ever read the National Enquirer, you probably never read it, but it was. We had a big Christmas tree. The best thing they ever had was a big crib, but they took it away. So, anyways, little town. But we got to $17,000 a week, like Gina said, in our little town of Lantana, Florida. So now we created a model. We're doing the exact same thing here in London as we did back in our little town of Lantana, Florida. We did it in Kelowna, British Columbia, Canada, when my friend got in. My friends were just as tough as your friends. If you think your friends and your cell phone are any tougher than mine, I mean, the last guy that I personally sponsored, I actually met him because I was looking for a marina to run my water ski school when I just started my water ski school, and he was the only guy that said, hey, yeah, run it out of here. Well, I went and saw him about 6 months ago, and he's sitting there in a chair like this, right? And I said, you know that Americans spend $100 million on weight loss products a day, right? And all of our friends are dripping, the weight is dripping off them. He said, well, you can see I don't spend any money on that stuff. Now, he was tough. And when I first talked to him, he signed up. Then he starts texting me, man, I've been on this Reveal for the last 10 days, and I lost 10 pounds. This crap really works. So he's just as tough as your friend, okay? Now he's lost almost 70 pounds, a different friend. Not my friend Lee, it's my friend Jerry. Almost 70 pounds on the Reveal. Now he starts telling me, because when you start showing people how much you care, and you're telling them to take the product, and you start showing up, helping them make some money. He went bronze in the business, okay? He says, you know, just before you came to my house, my grandson hopped in my lap and said, Papa, how come you're so fat? So now he starts telling me that he really was a bit concerned, even though he was acting cool when I came. My friends are just as tough as yours. My friend from Canada, he didn't even get in for almost a year before he got started in Monavie, okay? But you know what? What if I would have quit? Because now he's made millions with me. He has a bus just like mine. He paid cash for his vacation home. He's having a ball with his family. Changed his life because I didn't quit, okay? Took him a year to get in, okay? It's not a coincidence you're sitting here, all the way out the door packed, just so you know, okay? You're not sitting here for a coincidence. You got a big dream. The hard part about all of us, especially in London here, I think you can relate to me, right? Is we want something really cool. Does that make sense? I mean, we want like a Facebook opportunity. Right?
Yeah.
So when your friends ask you, what do you do? I own Facebook. Okay? Right? Or a .com type thing, right? Anything. Twitter, right? I own Twitter. Or I started Instagram, right? I mean, that's what you really want to like tell people. I got this cool thing, okay? Or a big real estate deal, high rise. That's my building over there, okay? Something with a lot of stress. All right? That's all of us, okay? We want to make money, we want stress, right? Well, how about wellness? If you read, I got 3 books here, okay? You can all read these. Everywhere else I went, I know they translated them, right? At least you guys can understand them, right? This guy here, Paul Zane Pilzer, is a leading economist, right? He tells everyone where the next millionaires are going to come from. He's actually got a book called The Next Trillionaires, right? Or and he talks about the next $1 trillion opportunity. Wellness. That's what we're in. We're in the wellness business. What's the best way to tell someone about a wellness product? Sitting on a shelf or a friend telling them, hey, you know what? My friend's lost a lot of weight and this would be a great product for you, okay? I'm not real good at bringing up the weight loss because I don't really know what to say. Hey, excuse me, would you like to lose a little belly fat? Looks like you could use a little belly fat. Like, bam, you know, so I just tell everyone, hey, you know, we got a product we promote that helps people lose belly fat. Well, I can lose a little belly fat. Really? Okay, all right? So he says wellness is the next opportunity, the next $1 trillion industry. Fast food is a $1 trillion industry. Now everyone wants to lose weight, so the next $1 trillion industry is going to be weight loss and people having their aches and pains and feeling better, okay, from the product. So that's what he talks about. So you're going to be in the wellness industry with us. Remember what Gina said about a vehicle? There's only like 3 options for you to get free. If you would have common sense with me and agree that a job won't get you free.
Yes. Yeah.
So almost every one of your friends that's smart is saying, how am I going to get out of here if I got a job? The only thing that the reason why they haven't got out of the job is because someone hasn't shared with them an opportunity that they could possibly afford to do. Meaning that, other than Monavie, the only 2 options you got is start your own business. It's going to cost you about £50,000, right? Okay, to start your own business. I'm making sense, pretty much, right? For a guy that didn't go to school, okay? Common sense though, $50,000 or your own franchise. I got a friend in my business got 3 Subways, so he said they cost $200,000 each, okay? And you make about $50,000 in each one of them a year. So that's why you got to have 3. because then you can have the same accountants and everyone. So unless you got an extra couple $100,000 laying around or more for a franchise, that's your two options so far. So if you don't have $50,000 or $200,000, that's why they haven't started their own company yet, because they know that's the only way to get free, is to somehow they got to do something. The last option is Monavie. 500 PV is how many pound?
That's 500 pounds.
500 pound? So you can eat 50,000 pound, 200,000 pound, or 500 pound.
Yeah.
Okay? When was the last time somebody talked to you that did help 102 friends make $1 million? And they came here and said, hey, I want to come back. If this is the kind of energy you got, and everyone says, you know what, we're going to bring one more person back the next time you come and have it like double the size, okay? Someone's going to be a smart guy or gal, and they're going to bring 10 new people, okay? So that's your options. You see what I'm getting at about how I related to my friends? They might not want to do this, but this guy's telling you that this is the end. Look at what he reads on here. He says that out of all, now after you've got to read the book, I'm just this is kind of how I read the books. I mean, I just kind of highlight what I want and repeat it, okay? Because I mean, I negotiate my way out of school. I'm looking for the easiest way. This is all, you really need to read anymore when he says this. Out of all the entrepreneurial opportunities, all available today, all, okay? One of the most important is network marketing, okay? And he says, in this industry, it actually takes advantage of virtually every one of the trends that we've looked at in this book, and this industry is perfectly positioned to create many of the next millionaires. Many. Again, I'm not saying that Subway won't create you a millionaire, but you don't have 200 grand. And you don't need one, you need a bunch of them. You actually need a territory of them. That's what Monavie is. It's the closest thing to, and he's not talking about Monavie, he's just talking about the industry in general. But you need to be looking for an opportunity where you got people that are in the game. They're here like we are on a Saturday. I mean, I came all the way from Florida. I said I'd been here. Out of every time I said I'd come, did I show up? Yeah. So I've come here, right, Mark? I mean, every time I said I was going to come, we showed up. So you won't be able to understand everything in one night, in one afternoon, but you need to really look around and say, who am I getting in business with? A group of people that is focused on getting each other and their families financially free. Only way for us, if you ever heard Zig Ziglar say, help enough other people succeed and you'll get what you want to get out of life. That's what we're talking about doing here. That's why we're here. We could talk to thousands like Steve said, but we said, hey, I love a challenge, to be honest with you. I love when somebody says, hey, why are you going to go to London? Monavie's not making a whole lot of money in London yet. No problem. I want to come to London because my friends are here, and they want just the same thing that we want. Okay? I mean, this is the most energy, and you know, I think a few of you are getting that feeling that we really want this for you, because this is the biggest, most energized meeting I've ever done in London. I'm just telling you, because it takes a little time. I mean, when I show up the first time, okay, but I'm just trying to give you a little perspective on how it works. You're going to have the same problem, same situation with you. Just because people are skeptical, you show up the first time, and people say, well, man, this sure would have brought more people. Okay? So you come the second time. Now here's where a lot of people mess up. They come up with some excuse after they tell their friend they're going to come. Then they say, well, no, I'm not going to make it the next time. They make an excuse. Well, guess what? That's when they brought all their friends. And then they say, well, geez, I wonder if he's not going to show up the next time. No, I've been showing up every time I said I'd come. And every time they said, you know what? I should have brought some more people. Not only do we have more people in the room, but we have the caliber, the quality. People over here sell Porsches, right? You said you sell Porsches for, I mean, guy sells Porsches for a living, right? I mean, before I had the delivery guy. I'm not trying to pick on him, but the delivery guy. If you read this book, it talks about, I don't know if anyone knows Robert Kiyosaki wrote the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Okay? He's actually one of the most respected businessmen in America. He just got done writing a book with Donald Trump called Why We Want You to Be Rich. And a lot of my friends will do just the same as your friends. Oh, no big deal, like Steve said, right? Like Donald called you to write a book with him. No, he called this guy to write a book with him, okay? And he's telling you that in this whole book, that if you're looking for cash flow, I have never seen anything in the world more powerful than this industry. We call it in Monavie community commerce, okay? And he's calling it network marketing. But this is how Google and eBay work. The more referrals you get for ads, the more money that they're going to pay you. It's community commerce. It's the new era. It's the new name, all right? He's telling you that this is the fastest way to generate cash flow. He even has a board game. Anyone know the name of his board game? Cash flow, okay? All right, so he's telling you this is it, and he tells you what you should be looking for. Now, if we all agree, he goes through on and on. He actually has a CD. If I was you, I would get a bunch of those CDs. It's called Business for the 21st Century. I think we offer it in Monavie's website, okay? If we don't, Steve can help you figure out how to get it, okay? But the point is, the thing I like about it is that it actually challenges your friends to start thinking about where they're going with their job from a very credible business person, okay? Because the problem you're having a little bit right now is you are trying to tell them how to be successful, but they know you. So use some folks. Both this guy here, Paul Zane Pilzer, does have his CD on our website. So get both of these guys CD and start challenging your friend to start listening to what's going on in the workplace. Okay? I mean, you know, there's three kinds of people out there, right?
Yeah.
There's people that are making things happen. That's us. Okay?
Yeah.
They're wondering, you know, we're going to make things happen because, again, the thing I like about this meeting that I've never seen in the UK so far to date is you're starting to realize that, and if you're a guest, you're starting to feel the energy that nobody is going to, you might not want to be excited because it's kind of like your culture. You might want to sit there without any excitement. But you got to understand this much, that no one else is going to get excited for your family's freedom than you. Okay? So that's what I appreciate about the meeting today, that people are realizing that, you know what, we're going to have to take charge of our own future. So there are people that make things happen. Okay? There's people that are watching things happen. Okay? That might be your friend, like my friends. They didn't get in for a year. Okay, my best friend didn't get in for 2 years. I didn't keep calling them up. Like Gina said, we didn't ruin friendships. If someone didn't want to get in, we just built it. My neighbor, Matt, he got in 7 minutes. He hasn't had a job with me for 5.5 years, driving around a Rolls Royce. Okay, so I worked with the people I wanted to work with, but my best friend didn't get in. He actually owns a security alarm company, so I hired him. After I started making money, Briggs said, you got to start putting some security around your house because people want stuff of yours, so you just got to put security around you, right? So he's out there putting in the security stuff. He's my best friend. I just hired his company to do it. He's digging ditches and everything. I'm walking out there with my Monavie. How you doing? That's 90 degrees, humidity. What are you doing down there in that ditch? Well, I'm digging your security. I'm in the house because I got nothing to do because I'm waiting for everybody to get off work. For tonight, it's air conditioning in there. And don't do Monavie. Just keep digging that ditch, you know. I'm going to buy another house, going to need some more security, right? And now he's a diamond. Now he's a diamond in my business, right? So there's people that are watching. He was watching. He went home to his wife and said, I think they're making money in that thing. Okay? Now he's a diamond, okay? And then the third type of people are people going around going, what's happening? We want you to be part of the people that are making things happen with us, okay? And it's only a fine line. There's a couple things I'm going to show up here. I mean, would you see? They're all talking about us. He's telling us, Robert Kiyosaki is saying, the most important thing you should look for, not that the compensation plan is not important. Monavie has one of the most powerful, fastest way I've ever seen in my life to get to $10,000 a week, okay? We have a little guy, as pictures right in the magazine. He's made $2 million with me. He's 23. He got in when he was 16. So if you're young in the room, okay? Biggest thing I've seen with young people is they don't stick to it. Stick with it. I mean, even if it took you, first of all, if you're tired today, okay, no matter what age you are, in 10 years you're going to be more tired.
Yeah.
Is that common sense? Okay? So, I mean, start building it out. I'm tired. Well, get a bigger dream, because you're tired. You're going to be more tired in 10 years. If you would agree that you're going to have to build a residual income, you understand, you need to make money when you're not working anymore. If you agree you're going to have to do it sooner or later, why not do it now? Why wait for another 10 years and then start? Let's do it now, okay?
Yes.
So, now, what if it took you, don't compare yourself to Gina and I, because we tried one of these before for 10 years. I don't get into something, not try and really go all out. I tried my hardest, but I sat in the front row. I didn't miss one seminar for 10 years, and I took notes from my upline, Brig and Lita Hart, okay? And I'm not saying we didn't succeed. The company we were working with didn't pay us any money, but we succeeded. They gave us a pin. That's exciting, okay? So we could put people together. We took notes. So actually, after I could not work anymore for nothing, okay, Monavie's not like that. Look at the income disclosure sheet. They paid, okay? This kid right here, little Scotty Henry, has made $2 million with me, right? He's right here, okay? 23 years old. Here's my brother-in-law. Here's all my friends, okay? Now, back then, by the way, they let you in at any age. I'm not sure how it is in the UK, but in America, you got to be 18 to get in now. Back then, he was 16 when we took any age. If you're an infant, you got a credit card, come on in. Take in, anybody. So we needed everybody. Now we got 18, okay? What's he saying in here? He's telling you that the most important thing you should be looking for is not the compensation plan, it's not the product. Even though we got phenomenal, I love what Steve said about we're not trying to prove, what did you say about the product? We're not
trying to be successful not in spite of the product, but because of it.
Yeah, we're not trying to be successful in spite of the product. I love that. Randy Schrader will tell you, by the way, you need to be drinking more juice. That's probably the second biggest thing that I've seen in the different foreign countries is that people aren't drinking enough juice. And it tastes great. You can drink, I mean, her and I poured a bottle, a glass, each of us, yesterday we were in Germany, and there was a fourth of the bottle left, which is 2 glasses full. I mean, we drink glasses like this. I'm trying to teach everyone to drink a bottle a day. Because if this is everybody in the UK, we're going to make some money. I mean, the sad part is you kind of remind me of where I grew up in Wisconsin. Everybody's very frugal with their money, okay? So you get in and you want to like get into the least amount of juice and spread it out as long as you can. So you're going around like taking the cap off and giving your friends a cap of juice, you know, a little cap, right? Nobody's getting their feeling, okay? And nobody's going to make any money. If you're teaching everyone to drink a cap, they're all going to do half. So if everyone in the room starts drinking a bottle a day, your group's going to drink a half a bottle, okay? So if you drink a cap, they drink a half a cap. Yeah. Nobody's going to get a feeling or make any money. If you go to any one of my friends in this magazine and you go to their house, they're going to offer you a glass of Monavie, not a cap or a little shot glass, right? And because I didn't go to school, I don't even know what a couple ounces is. I think this is 2 ounces. Okay, so, I mean, let me help you. Can you think a little more like an entrepreneur? If you owned a wine company, you would be taking your wine to every one of your friends' house. You would think nothing about placing a bottle with all your friends so that you could promote your wine. Okay? It doesn't matter if it's a bottle of water company or if it's an orange juice company, whatever it is, you're going around promoting it. This is your business. Where do you want to take it? People that came to my house, anyone ever heard one of my friends, one of my last Black Diamonds, his name is Mike Hernandez, he's got CDs out, and he said that he thought that I owned Monavie. You get what I'm saying though? Perception. Think about this. You're gonna go. You gotta believe that you own the company, and you're going around drinking the juice because that's what we gotta. That's what people want to see how you're doing it. So, what does Robert say? He says it's not the comp plan. That's the most important. It's not the product. Even though I love our products and I love the science behind all of our products. Okay, tear-jerking results. Okay, but the most important thing you need to look at is, do they have a proven support system? Well, if you can create a millionaire every 25 days, and all the leaders of Monavie that had systems all came together to create MVP that we're launching here. MVP, half of MVP is Randy Schrader, and the other half is all the folks that worked in the other systems. So this is all Randy right here. He's already made $30 million. So let's use this until we get. We're actually using the Getting Started, Staying Started brochure as our follow-up piece, so it's the same thing you got. Every time I show someone the opportunity, if they don't see if they don't see it right away or want to get in with 500 PV, I want to make sure they go home and understand how powerful and how important it is to get in with the right way with 500 PV, because I got started the wrong way. Okay? I want to make sure you understand getting in the right way so that everyone is going to do whatever you do. So if you get in with 500 PV, then everybody else is going to get in with 500 PV. And you're going to duplicate that successful pattern. So that is why we use the same. You listen to every one of these CDs that are in here over and over and over again when you're driving around, so that you start saying the same things that all of us are saying. So he is telling you the most important thing is, do they have a proven support system? They're going to be launching MVP, I believe in September. Okay? So in September, you're going to be able to get you'll have an opportunity to get a auto ship of information every month. So the last book we got was this book right here, Next Millionaires. All right. So and Paul's on CD along with 4 other CDs from people that have succeeded in the industry. And you listen to them as you're going around. Like Randy Schrader was on one of them, and he said, "Hey, we just broke a gold in Ohio." Happens to be in my group, right? And she did it in the last 6 weeks. So if you're having trouble sponsoring people, we just broke an emerald, right? An emerald in the business. What's his name?
Greg.
Greg. Congratulations, Greg. Brand new emerald in the business. So if you're having trouble here in the UK, we just broke an emerald. So Randy says on his CD, it's not Monavie that's the problem, it's you. I mean, wouldn't you rather have somebody at least be honest with you? But we got to do something. We got to do something about ourselves if it's not working. That's what Robert is saying here about you need a proven support system. Now, if you read the book, you need to know why he said you need one. He said you need one for personal development. Not necessarily only yourself, but if you sponsor me and I need some personal development, so that, what do you need personal development? Personal development, you need to have enough belief in the company. Let's just start with the industry. First of all, you got to have belief in the industry. Second of all, you got to have belief in the company, Monavie, and the third, yourself. That's what personal development does. That we're building you up, telling you what's going on. I mean, my last friend, Mike Hernandez, is on one of the CDs, telling you how he went from digging through garbage, selling it at the flea market, to making millions with me and Monavie. Now, how did Steve sponsor me? Well, he was at baseball practice with his son with the batting coach, and for 1 hour, this should give you hope. For 1 hour, I sat there looking. There's like a batting cage. You ever seen when they have batting practice? There's a cage. The son's in there. The kid's throwing the football. They're throwing the baseball at him, but he's really got like a machine that's throwing at him. My son's batting, and the guy's in there, Chad, and I sat there for 1 hour contemplating. Should I talk to him or shouldn't I? Should I? Shouldn't I? Should I? Now Gina would have just walked right in there and talked to him. I thought about it for 1 hour, but I kept thinking, man, if I go home and I didn't talk to him, she's going to send me back out. Okay? So all you really got to do is talk, like she said, talk to 3 people a day. You really just got to talk to them. It don't matter what they say, because if you go home and she says, hey, did you talk to the batting coach today? Yes, I did. I asked him, would you like to feel better, look better, have your wife look younger, make $1 million? No, he said, I don't want none of that. He's a bozo, but you're my hero. But if I came home and he said, well, did you talk to the batting coach? Well, you know, I sat there and thought about it for an hour. I was sweating, like worn out, just sweating, thinking about it. And before I could talk to him, another client came up and he actually helped that kid's son, so I never got to talk to him. You're a bozo. All right? You just got to open your mouth, because he did say, hey, you know what? I might be interested, and I think I might have a friend that's interested. And I was no great at talking. I mean, if you sent me out in the lobby up at the hotel out there and said, hey, show us how you contact people. I mean, I'm terrible at contacting people. I mean, people actually listen to me because they feel sorry for me. I'm a coach, so I like to tell you what I did, but I'm not good at talking to them. Now, Gina can go to the grocery store and meet 10 people. I go there, I don't see anybody, okay? Everyone's different, but I will tell you, if you're a little bit tough at talking to people, it's actually an advantage to you, because you're not sounding like a salesman, you're just being real. I don't mean to pick up a salesman, right? But the difference between this and a sale, just as a good point, now I bring it up because I want you to win, okay, is I'm not closing you to get in and then we're done with being in business. We're going to be business partners. I would rather have you go home and listen to Randy Schrader tell you how to get started the right way, because when you do decide to get in, we're going to be partners for life, because we're going to take this to 20 billion. It's not. Now, what do you got for a bonus for us coming here? Well, the bonus you got coming for you, that when I talked to somebody when I first started, is I've been in for 6 years. People have called me for the last 5.5 since I went Royal. When I was making $17,000 a week 5.5 years ago, okay? They've been calling me about something as good as Monavie or better. First of all, if somebody says this is good as Monavie, that should already be a sign that they're not, because they got to use our name.
Yeah.
Again, that just got common sense. All they really want to do is move my people underneath their people and whatever they're doing so they can get rich. Is that right? I mean, even if they give me money, they're not going to give you money, so why would I want to hurt my friends? I mean, it's silly.
Yeah.
I don't have any friend that moved to something else or tried anything else that's driving around a Lamborghini and has 102 friends that help make $1 million. I haven't shifted a bit in focus. So, I mean, if you ever understood that industry, it does have a bit of a bad rap because a lot of people try to start it, but a lot of people don't know what they're doing. So it gives you a bad rap. It could be the distributor or the owner of the company. Well, let's go with the facts. What Steve said. Dallin Larson's got 30 years of experience. Randy Schrader is one of the biggest. When he signed up in Monavie, before he was the president, just enrolled in Monavie a few years ago, I got an email from people that knew me or people that weren't even in my business and said, they were in another business, they said, hey, congratulations for having Randy Schrader get involved in your company. Okay? So we got two of the top folks, and we got Brig Hart, who's the #1 income earner in the whole industry. I mean, you need some more proof. Don't be fooled. I'm sure. I mean, I hope this is all right, Steve, but I'd rather confront you now that people are going to. The minute you start to succeed, why are you going to succeed? Because Monavie's got proof that it's happening. We've got a proven support system. So once you start plugging in and listening to what Gina and I are saying, some of you have been here every time I've come. So you're learning something different every single time. So you're going to start repeating and having the belief and understanding what we're doing, and that's part of the support system. So you're going to have that belief, meaning that no one else has that like we've got here. So now all the other networks want to come to you and say, hey, this is as good as Monavie, you should be with us. No. You learned everything right here. Let's start moving and taking this to the next level together. So the top guy, Brig Hart, is telling you that, hey, by the way, did you know that the top Warren Buffett, Donald Trump, and a company called Sequoia Capital, all, just you know what Sequoia Capital did, they were the success behind Apple, Cisco, and Oracle. They all own network marketing companies. Yeah. Okay? Warren Buffett owns Pampered Chef. Now, if you want to go sell knives, you get in with Warren Buffett, right? But if you want to go build a business, see, the thing I like about Monavie is they call us in the direct selling industry, but that's going to be, when you hear direct selling, what does that make you sound like? We're going around selling bottles of juice, right? But we're not going around selling bottles of juice. We're actually, we've got customers, right, Steve? We got customers, okay? But it's very hard to service your customer when you're on 26 free trips because you're never home to service them. So it's better off just getting them in and having it delivered to their house. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay? It's going to be hard because I'm believing that this is going to be the team that's going to be with me on the free trips. But the exciting thing for you that we are in the direct selling industry is your friends think that when you're talking to them, that these guys go around selling bottles of juice. Now you have to do the same thing I did. The best thing I can do is give you a word picture of my brother-in-law. He was a multi-millionaire before Monavie. Semi-retired for 15 years. You don't know what anybody's thinking. Don't prejudge anyone that's making money. Because they're going to be, anyone that makes money wants to make more money. Yes. My millionaire brother-in-law is right in here, has made millions with me in Monavie. Okay? Well, we had Thanksgiving at our house, Thanksgiving dinner, okay? And we were at Gina's relatives, all of her mother, her sisters, she's got 2 sisters, the nephews, their wives, everybody. And we had just gotten in, we had one get-together at our house. We call them home business reviews now. We had one of them at our house, and then we went to the Thanksgiving dinner. And so we only have 2 bottles of juice, and because we had to fly up there, we were thinking small back then. We weren't drinking a bottle a day, okay? Now we get charged all kinds of money for flying around with all of our bottles, okay? So we get there, and they said, Gina said, talk to everybody about, Steve's going to show you about our new business and our product. And I'm like, well, these are your relatives. Why don't you talk to them? No, you talk to them. All right, so I pour the juice for everybody, and they all kind of yawn a little bit. Nobody really says much. I'm calling it the Aki Berry. My friend Charlie's making 4,000 a week. It's the only thing I knew, okay? And we got 19 wild fruits and berries, and my friend Charlie's making $4,000 a week in 4 months. So my millionaire brother-in-law, a day later, because we're all hanging out for a few days on a vacation, with the relatives, Friday, he comes up to me and says, how's that Charlie guy, your friend Charlie, making $4,000 a week? Who's he selling the bottles? How many bottles does a guy got to sell to make $4,000 a week? So your relatives and friends are going to think the same thing mine do. So I'm like, well, I only had one of these meetings at my house. I don't know everything, but here's what I found out. It seems like you're supposed to go drink with your friend, ask him, does he want his wife to look younger? Would he like to have his feel better, look better, and make $1 million? And if he says yes, you drink with him and he gets it auto shipped to his house. Then you say, do you have a friend that you think might want the same as you? And you go to their house. Would you like your wife to look younger? Would you like to look better, feel better, lose a little belly fat, make $1 million? Yes, great. Well, then he gets it delivered to his house. I said, I don't think you sell the bottles. You just go around drinking the juice and having it auto shipped to their house. My millionaire brother says, you know, my Gina sister, he says, my wife and I have been praying for some opportunity to come along. We've been looking for something else to do to bless people. I think we could do this. They made millions with me at Monavie, but they first thought that we were going around selling bottles of juice. So you have to teach the people, you can't make $4,000 a week selling bottles of juice, okay? It'd be too many bottles. I mean, think about, how about $17,000 a week? I mean, how many bottles? I mean, you're just going to be selling, you're going to be a juice salesman. So we're going around, cottage-based business, okay? The way of the future. Read this book, Cottage-Based Business, and we're going to have everything delivered to their house, okay? And the bigger it gets, I mean, think about it. If everyone here is in their own business and they're all getting it delivered to their house, and everybody brings one more person, we just doubled the size of our company. Yeah. And the overhead stays the same. The bigger your business, you still have the same overhead. Okay, you're on an auto ship. Let's just say if you got a family like mine, I mean, even 500 PV is not enough for my family because I got 4 kids. We got somebody going to get a couple cases? Now what are you going to do? Okay, what kid are we going to give the juice to? I mean, everyone needs a box for a month, at least, for just little teeny shots. So if you drink it like me, then my kids drink it like me, we need cases. So you're on auto ship for your family, and then you've got extra juice to promote with. So I hope I got a little bit on, if you're brand new or if you've been in the business, a little bit, what are we thinking? How are we getting? You're going to have to talk to your friend in your cell phone the same way I did. Let me help you on this much. If you're a guest again tonight, we are not believing that you are coming here or you're going to get involved with us because you want to do it. Like you dreamt to promote a nutritional beverage and a weight loss product. At this point in your life, word of mouth. Would you agree? Yeah. I will tell you that the friend that brought you never thought they'd be sitting here talking about a nutritional beverage and a weight loss product. Okay? We're promoting word of mouth. So we're not naive to think you're going to want. Now the hard part about it, if you're brand new, when you come to a meeting like this, everybody's all fired up. So you think that we thought that we'd be doing this at this point of our life. But no. I was just as cool as you. My friend called me, I didn't take his phone call for a month. Then I signed up to be nice for 90 days, never did a thing. They actually called me to help me. Brig called me, Steve, I want to help you. My upline Charlie, Cal called, want to help you. They left messages. My sponsor, Brig, and Charlie all called, and I deleted all 3 of the messages. Said, I don't know why they're calling me. I am not doing this. I'm too cool. All right? I'm just signed up to be nice. Okay? Well, after 90 days, I forgot I was even in. I get an email that says, my friend's friend Charlie's making $4,000 a week, and he bought a bus. Remember what I said? My dream was always to have a bus. Yeah. How'd the guy get a bus? I'm going to go see how he got the bus. So I drove 5 hours, maybe you drove 5 hours to come here. I sat in the back. I wanted to see how the guy got the bus. Right? And I see people succeeding. I'm like, man, I didn't want to do this, but I think I can do it. So I sign up. I'm already in the business. Okay? I didn't even get a taste of the juice because when you sign up, they ask you, are you a distributor? Well, then you don't get a taste, only if you're a guest. So I already was a distributor, not knowing when I was in, haven't even tasted the juice yet. We were getting 1 bottle a month. That's what I signed. I'm a big spender, right? 1 bottle a month. Now I have to admit, my sponsor didn't know how to sign anybody up. I'm like, okay, sign me up. I'm psyched up, sit me in. Because Gina said to get us in, so get us in, right? Well, the phone went real quiet. It was like, signed up every person in the room. I'm like, why are you laughing? They're like, you were terrible at the meeting. I mean, I can't believe how you humiliated us. I mean, you were so bad that she took the mark, she showed the plan and signed everybody up. It was embarrassing. You didn't even know what you're talking about up there, right? And they said, but that's not what we're laughing at. We're actually laughing at if you could be that bad, get the marker taken out of your hand and get that set down for timeout and they can sign everybody up, we're going to be rich. So, and he was right. So, all right. Now, again, if you're brand new, we're looking for, we're no different than you. We're just as cool. We didn't dream to do this. My whole upline didn't dream to do it. My friend Charlie was in for months before he started doing the business. My friend Frank didn't even start till after me, and he's the one that Brig personally sponsored. So none of us thought. I mean, my sponsor, Bob, they said to him, when I was doing my first meeting at my house, they said, could you bring by the juice that we loaned you so that we could get Steve's meeting off to the right start? He said, no, I'm going hunting. I ain't going to no meeting. Nobody wanted to do it, okay? So we're not assuming you'd want to do it, all right? Actually, out of the 102 friends that I've helped make $1 million, not one of them wanted to do it. Isn't that interesting? Not one of these people wanted to do it. Nobody. So, let me help you on this. Again, what did I tell you about Americans? None of us have ever, nobody's done this. So nobody even thought they'd be doing it. Nobody dreamt. I helped 102 Americans get to $1 million or more that didn't want to do it. Now, the hard part for the folks that didn't come tonight, they're going to be messed up. Because those of you that came are going to, I got a big, you got actually a first mover advantage in a big way. Because this might be very small, but it's a big first mover advantage. Yeah. Okay? Everyone that came today understands that they're looking for people that don't want to do it. Woo! If you didn't come, you think you're looking around. They're actually looking around. You're going to be going around for years looking for people that want to do it. Nobody wants to do it. All right? You actually hope now when you go through and then all you're going to do, there's a flip chart in here. You don't have to be good at the flip chart. I just told you how bad I was. You just sit here, you can be shaking. Can you read that page? Tell me when you're done, I'll flip it. All right? Okay? You hope when you sit there and talk to them. All right? Is there something you can't get doing what you're doing? Yeah, you know what? I'm tired. I want to retire young. I want to be able to have the freedom to goof around. I don't say that I've retired. I just said I haven't had a job for 5.5 years. Okay? So we're looking. I'd like to get out of rush hour traffic. I want to bring my wife home from work. That's what I wanted to do. Right? Well, do you have any other way to bring your wife home from work? No. No one came last month to help you bring your wife home? No. Nobody came this week? No. Nobody's. I hate to tell you, nobody's coming. You only got me. Okay? You're going to do the same thing I did. Now, you got no other options to bring her home from work. Well, you got three. You could start your own company for £50,000, start your franchise for £200,000, or get in Monavie for £500. Okay? You want to get in? No, I don't want to do it. Yeah, you qualified! You hope, from now on, after this meeting, you're hoping and praying that they say they don't want to do it. Think about this. This would be very weird. I call you up and say, hey, I got this nutritional beverage, and I got this a weight loss product, okay? And we're going to promote it word of mouth, multi-level type, right? You want to do it? You know, I'm actually waiting for somebody to call me about something like this. I can't wait. That's weird. You won't relate to nobody, okay? You better hope and pray they say to you, I don't want to do it, because that's who we're looking for. They relate to everybody, right? And then they'll say, well, you know what? If you don't want to do it, you said you got no other way to bring your wife home from work. I will tell you this much, that I brought my wife to as many meetings as I could to begin with. Now, we weren't connected at the hip because she's flying 3 to 4 days a week, and then when she get home, I'd fly with my boss. But we tried to go together wherever we could, and we sit down with a husband and wife, because the wife won't sit down with you unless you're with the wife, because then this is the husband's going to sit down. Because the wife is the one that's going to help him make the right decision. Because when you're sitting there, Sue, right? You're sitting there, and if I'm talking to Mark and I say, hey, you want to bring Sue home from work, right? Well, I'm not, yes, that's what I want to do, right? Well, you got any other way, okay? And he says, I don't want to do it. You qualify, right? Nobody's, all the friends that Steve helped and Gina, 102 friends, not one of them wanted to do it. So you are the perfect candidate to do it. In fact, if somebody told you this week or last month, or if you've been in for a while, Dave, and you got a list of people that said they don't want to do it, you got to call every one of them back now and say, hey, you know what? I got to come by your house. I got some information you got to hear. Yeah. When you get there and you drink with them, you don't do it on the phone. You just tell them you got some they got to see. And you drink the reveal with them. You drink. It doesn't really matter what you drink with them. You just say, hey, you know what? I've been sitting here. I just went to a meeting with my friend, the fastest billion-dollar company in the history of America. Google took 5 years. Monavie took 3. Okay? Sat there with my friend who helped 102 friends make $1 million. I don't know if you've ever had anyone else come to your house that has helped 102 friends make $1 million. But my friend Steve came to help us, right? And it's the hottest industry to be in wellness. Have a taste. This is a way to bring your wife home from work. Now, I know you said you didn't want to do it, but I didn't know this before Steve came, that everyone that has succeeded did not want to do it, so you actually are top on the list for qualification for this. Right? Have a little more taste, okay? And again, it has nothing to do with the product or if they want to do it. We already know everybody's going to do something they don't want to do, right? You go to work every day, okay? So that's not a problem. The point is what do you want? I want to bring my wife home from work. So if I'm sitting with Mark, okay, and Susan, I say, hey, look it, right? Is there any other way to get you home from work? You got to get another way. All right, good. I don't want to do it. Good, you qualified. All right? I'm just not going to do it. Okay, well, I guess if you told me you have no other way to bring her home from work, that you're not that serious about bringing her home from work. Is he, Susan? Now, here's my card. When you're serious about bringing her home from work, give me a call. But every time you see Susan getting ready for work, like I did, at 3 in the morning, that's when flight attendants get ready for work, okay? And she's crying because she's got to leave the kids, and she's all upset that she has to go to work for 3 or 4 days. You remember me. I showed you how to bring her home from work, and you said no. Every time you talk to anybody, you call out their dream. You got to find out what they're... How do you sell a car? What do you want on the car, right? I mean, you got to find... It's a perfect... It's the way you talk. Too many people, since I've been in Monavie, mostly a lot of people in Europe, they're trying to talk so much about the juice that everyone says no to the bottle of juice. It's easy to say no to the bottle of juice. But if you said, I want to travel more, like Steve and Gina, but on 26 free trips. Okay, well, you don't want to do it? Yeah, you qualified, right? And you got to be fired up that they qualify. Then it's a good thing you said that, because the only ones that succeed don't want to do it. Now watch. Let's get you in. Well, I don't want to get in. Well, you said you can't. You're not traveling, no, or you want to travel. Well, you're young. Instead of wait till you're 70 and find out that you're going to have to go back to work, or you retire with not enough money to travel. Let's go do it now. Every time the TV plays a travel commercial about Disney or going somewhere, and your kids come up and you say, Daddy, when are we going to Disney? You remember me. Because you said you wanted to travel, but you said no to Monavie. I showed you a way to take those kids to Disney World, and you said no. Doesn't matter if it's rush hour traffic, if it's retirement, could be your kids' college education. What is it that they want to get done sooner than later? You call them out on their dream. Now it's going to get easier down the road because nobody can sleep because you left them. You know why? Because they're thinking about, every time they're in rush hour traffic, they're like saying, because you said to them, whenever you're in rush hour traffic again, never hit the steering wheel and say you're upset about it being rush hour traffic, because I showed you a way to get out of rush hour traffic and you said no. You remember me, okay? Every time they're in rush hour traffic, who are they thinking about? You. If they said no to the juice, they're never thinking about you. Are you with me? You're asked, how in the world did you get there as fast as you did? I called them out on their dream every time. Now, if someone doesn't have a dream or doesn't give me a dream, there's nothing I can do. I'm going to say, hey, you know what? Here's my card, because things do change in your career. You might be like my friend Corbin Roush that got his pay cut in half, cut by 2/3, and then you're going to give me a call. So just remember me. Or if he makes you upset and says, hey, you can't go watch the kids play soccer on Saturday because you got to work on Saturday, you remember me, okay? You just start calling people out on what you think might be their dream, even though they don't want to be honest with you and tell you, because it might be a little tough here in London to get the dream out of the people because they got so much dust on it. But if it's your friend or relative, you know what they want. Talk about that. That's how you're going to get them to think a little bit bigger. So if you're a guest, we know how you feel. They're going to call you names even. Like we're calling the guys Emerald in the business now, okay? Again, Greg. Greg's a new Emerald in the business, 150. So I call it by income. It's easier, right? It's actually 150,000 a year for an Emerald, okay? So if you could use an extra 150,000, I'm going to teach you in a second here how to get this gold thing done, which is 50,000. What is that in pound? 32,000 pound. Anybody use an extra 32,000 pound?
Oh, yeah.
In the room, okay? That's what we want to get you all to, which is what, about 700 a week? 700 pound a week we want to get you to. That's what we're going to do in the next, and you know what, how long do they have the qualification for the Greece trip?
Okay, right up to the end of August, you're just going to do 2 weeks of gold.
2 weeks of gold. So I want to get everyone, I've got a little bit of inside information on the gold trip to Greece. I don't know, anybody been to Greece? Bunch of you? Okay, a lot of you been there? Well, how about for free?
Awesome.
Okay, nobody's got it free, all right? So we're going to get you there for free, okay? And it's in a place in Greece that, I don't know the name of it. Where are we going? Okay. But I've seen the pictures. They said it's so great that they would normally send the diamonds to this place, or black diamonds even. So you want to go on this gold trip. By the way, it doesn't even matter. Where you go. With this group, you have fun. I mean, when I got my friend Matt, who went diamond, by the way, which is $250,000, okay? When he got there in 70 days, you know how I took him? I said, you want to go to this convention, okay? Like this right here. We got a convention coming up in Poland, right? It's the #1, understand this. I might be shocking you with what, like, you might have came here thinking you're looking for people that want to do it, but I just shocked you. You're not. That's a brain, right? That's a whole different, okay? Now, if I say come to Poland and say, hey, look well, I don't want to go to Poland. Well, guess what? Neither do I. Nobody, I'm going to be there. Nobody wants to, okay? I mean, but if you want to be a doctor, you got to go to medical school. Do you really think you want to go through all those years of medical school just to be a doctor? No, but sooner or later, if you want to be a doctor, you got to go to medical school. Is that common sense? Yeah. Sooner or later, if this is the #1 priority to succeed in Monavie, it's coming to a major convention, you're going to have to go. So, when is this one? Going to be the second week of September, 14th and 15th. You need to fill this out and say you're going. I mean, if you want to succeed.
Also, Steve, the tickets for that are €80, but if they fill one of those in today, it's €40.
Okay, so I mean, I'm just going to pass them out. And again, I'm not here to, guys, 5,700 people last week signed up in my business. 5,700. So I came here to help you succeed. Do you mind helping me pass them out? You know, just everyone take one. Let me have one myself. And again, you came here wanting to know how we succeeded. Gina, I never missed one. I'm not telling you. Now, let me help you on this. Shh, I want to finish it up kind of. We're moving along. What do we got? Okay, we got a little time. All right, I'll get done early, even. Okay? But I appreciate it. Hey, give Steve a hand for putting this together for everyone. I mean, I emailed him. He put it together. You know? So, and by the way, I hope you do the same thing for me that I did for everybody else. Since I've been in Monavie, I've never looked at who's in whose group. I don't cross-line. Cross-line means I'm giving you advice as to what to do in your business if you're not in my group. But I'll encourage everyone to succeed and put it together and tell you what, on a generic basis, what we're doing to succeed. So, anyways, if you got a personal question about your own business, you ask your upline. And they'll help you out. But we got all different uplines and new people in the room. And if you're brand new in a new group, it's going to be exciting because you get to plug into this energy that we got right now. I will tell you this much. Do not compare yourself, like Anna's been here for a little while with us, okay? And seen, I mean, we had no energy the last couple meetings compared to this. Am I right? So, okay, we got everyone's got, okay, watch. Let me help you in this. Don't compare yourself to somebody else that's been in the business, and they might not be where you think they should be at this point in the business. Because it takes time to create momentum. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because once we have a new Emerald Greg in the room that's an Emerald, you understand that it can be done. Okay? Yeah. So now everyone is starting, that's going on in different countries around the world. So look at it. Something's going on here. I mean, we never had this kind of a meeting before in London since I've been here. So it's happening. What I'm trying to get is that if you're brand new tonight, you can work off the synergy that we have here, the momentum, which is going to be a lot faster for you. Let me give you a word picture. My friend Matt Curtis, my neighbor, there were only 2 diamonds in all of Monavie in 2.5 years. It took, a year and a half. It took about a year to go diamond, is what everybody thought. 50,000 people signed up before my neighbor Matt. So the way you understand the compensation plan, your friend will help you a little better understand it. Remember I said you can't understand everything in one night, but Steve said before we started, get with your friend to help you clear everything up, the questions you might have. But the way it works is underneath 2 legs, everybody gets put underneath everybody. So there were 50,000 people looking at my friend Matt that had got in a year and a half. And the computer, you could see 50,000 people down to my friend Matt. He came to a meeting like this, there was about this many people, where you guys right there, that many people. It was the first major convention that we did, Brig put together. 75 people, and he broke out of there and got to the $250,000 called Diamond in 70 days. Passed me up, right? Actually went Blue Diamond in 90 days. I'm still an Emerald, and he was Blue Diamond, okay? Yeah. All the 50,000 people that signed up ahead of us all saw him go Diamond, because they could look down there in the computer. That's what most people, well, this is a little bonus for you. A lot of people, since they got in Monavie, because you know how I talk about a franchise, cottage-based business, you're going to be in your own business, you're going to build the business, and then because you're in the business, I'm going to succeed. Well, let me help you in this. Remember what I told you about Zig Ziglar? He said, help enough people, other people, get what they want, and then you'll get what you want. Not watch them on the computer. You with me? You hear what I just said? They sign you up, and they go home, and they look on the computer. What's he doing? Guess what? He's looking on the computer looking to see what you're doing. You're supposed to help him. Nobody's doing nothing. Right? You're all on Facebook. Okay? Start doing something. I haven't had one person, by the way, go across the stage and say, you know what, I saw a guy on Facebook, got in, and I went Black Diamond or Royal Black Diamond. There might be some smaller, I haven't seen too many people go that big. So, I mean, I'm just telling you, I haven't got anyone, and I'm one of the top guys. So, point is that it's nice to put a few things on there to kind of help change people's perception. But when it comes to contacting and who you're going to get the people, I found a Black Diamond, my last one, from my son's baseball coach. You with me? Okay, so, anyways, where was I at? Okay, Warsaw. Now, let me help you in this. My friend Matt, I took him to this event. There were only 75 people. This is what I want. I really want you to get this, because a lot of people, this probably goes over most people's head. And it's kind of interesting that the guy who negotiates way out of high school, me, is telling you to read books and go to seminars. Okay, that's kind of, it's already kind of, God's got a sense of humor that I'm telling you to learn. And I'm the one that couldn't wait to get out. So, but watch this. Matt did not want to go to the seminar. It was a 5-hour drive. So, I did the same thing that I told you before. I helped change his perception from what he was thinking. So, he didn't want to go. Even if somebody says to you, well, I don't want to go to Warsaw. I said, well, you know what? That's a good thing, because these friends didn't want to go either. Yeah. Okay? We're not really looking for people that want to go. The ones that don't want to go, the ones that succeed the most. Watch. Matt, his dream was to stop swinging a hammer. Now, he really didn't swing a hammer that much because he owned his own construction company, but he was tired of them. He said that he would have to go collect money, and it'd be like 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and then never. They would never pay him. So him and his wife were tired of that. Before his Rolls Royce, he drove around an old Jeep Cherokee. Now, he actually, one day when I was driving around doing meetings, he came up to my car and said, with his brand new Bentley, because he got a Bentley before he got the Rolls Royce. And he said, do you have any Grey Poupon? One night. And we drove around the town showing everybody his Bentley. Then a couple years later, he got a Rolls Royce, Phantom Rolls Royce. Okay? Actually a media package. So it's kind of, it's a little bit tough in our town because I'm driving around this Lamborghini, he's driving around this Phantom Rolls Royce. Now we got there without having the cars. But now it's interesting because the reveal, you know, with the powder and everything like that, we're sitting there in restaurants and he's like telling me, hey, I got a few guys that want some bags of powder, right? We're like in Miami Vice town, if you know what I'm saying, right? I said, Matt, do they have the capsules here? No, we have the capsules. So he said, you know, we got guys that want some pills and powder. And I'm like, man, I don't think we should be saying that too loud with those two cars parked out front, okay? And then we were actually driving over to their house and we're rolling down his media package with the windows. You know, you got the curtains that just, and then that goes down and we hand them out. The guy runs down his driveway, we hand him powder and pills, okay? So it's a little crazy, but anyways. Here's a guy that said, I don't want to go to the seminar. So if you're saying here, I would never go to Poland. Okay, all right? Watch this. I said, Matt, I know you don't want to go. I don't want to go. He said, well, I thought you wanted to go. I said, no, I don't want to go. But if you want to be a doctor, you got to go to medical school. If you want to be a diamond, they don't have anyone that went diamond that didn't go. So sooner or later, you're going to have to go. The next one's going to be in Portugal. If you want to wait for another 6 months, you can go to Portugal. But I want to go now. I want to get this done. So he said, you know what? I'm tired of swinging a hammer. That's why I'm going. I'm going to go because I don't want to swing a hammer anymore. That's why you're going to go. It's the same reason why you got into business. You don't want to go. You don't want to get in, but you want to bring your wife home from work and put some cash in the bank. Like Kiyosaki says, cash flow. That's why you go to this. So now, let me help you in this. This is a franchise. Just telling you, this is the most closest thing to franchising you're ever going to get. You understand everybody in this room, their belief level has gone up probably 100 notches after today's meeting in London. Would you agree? Okay? All right, so put that with like 5,000 people, right, in Poland. Okay? We just had 3,500 people in Paris. Okay? I went to the first event, or not, I don't know if it was the first one, but it was the one before that was only like about 1,000 people. So it went from there and they were all depressed. Okay? Now everybody, the energy around Europe is just like this. I just left Germany. We can get them fired up. Okay? Right? I mean, I walked up to the ticket counter the other day in Germany, just we're coming over here, and they're like, lady says, what do you want? I'm like, what do you think I want? I'm coming up to the ticket counter. I mean, Gina and I were like thinking, everywhere we went, they're like, what do you want? I mean, like, it's crazy. So anyways, you don't have that problem here, but if we get them fired up, okay? So don't take this lightly. They're doing everything they can to help you. I mean, look at 80 bucks to 40 pound. I mean, it's up to you where you want to go. I'm just telling you, you came here not because you wanted to learn how to get this done. I'm going to teach you how to start filling up your houses just like this. Because this is a very easy word picture. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to go gold and how to fill up your houses just like this. But I will tell you this much, that you came here because you want something more. You didn't expect me to tell you the same thing your friend would tell you because you're where you're at because you've been listening to your friends. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You would want, if you've never heard somebody help 102 friends make $1 million, that's why I'm telling you something different than you might have thought, you know, okay? If you understand franchising, and you understand that because somebody comes to this, and because, now this is like the second most important thing. A seminar like this is the second most important thing to attend. The third thing would be an open meeting only. And then the fourth thing would be a home business review. The fifth thing would be a one-on-one, talking to somebody one-on-one. That's in priority. So like, if somebody says to you, I want to do a home business review the same day that the Poland meeting is going on, you don't do that because the number one place you're supposed to be is in Poland. Does it sound like I might have my head in the game? You want to, just like if I don't know any of how to sell a Porsche. But if I'm going to follow you guys, if I wanted to, I'm going to come there and learn exactly what to do to sell a Porsche. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You came here to learn how in the world the guy make tens of millions of dollars in a few years in a bad economy. Okay? I'm coming here to help you on what I did. Okay? So, watch. You want all of your friends learning the how, what, and why without you having to be there. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay? So, by you bringing them there, they're all learning. So my friend Matt went to that seminar. He went diamond in 70 days, $250,000 a year. So watch this. Guess what I had to do for those 70 days? Follow him around with bottles of juice and sign-up forms. That's all we did was sign people up because he was so fired up because he went to the seminar that his eyeballs were this big. You could do that from here because there weren't even this side of the room that meeting. And we still didn't even know what to do. No one even knew what to do. Brig was there teaching, but he was mostly upset about the guy that had the logo on his hat that was crooked. Because he was making he started making some hats and shirts with Monavie on them, and they were all crooked. So he was yelling, nobody even was teaching us. And he got that fired up. 70 days the guy went diamond. All I did was follow him around with enrollment forms and bottles of juice. Now don't get me wrong, I could only get 4 people to go, 2 couples. My brother and sister-in-law, Gina's sister, he was the millionaire. He came. Because he said, I never do nothing without knowing what I'm doing. That made sense. That must be why he's a millionaire. Okay? And my friend Matt, we went there, by the way, if you can't have fun in your family van, we had a little family van, we all went there and had a ball, driving in the family van, you're not going to have fun in Greece with us, because you just don't know how to have fun. Have some fun with your friends. Enjoy the journey. Doesn't matter. I mean, I don't know where I heard it somewhere, but it's like, if you can't have fun now, you're not going to have fun when you're making all the kind of money, okay, that you can make. In fact, we heard some successful business person I just heard before I came here today said, you got to have fun now, enjoy the journey, because when you get there, you're not going to have any fun with it. No one's going to be attracted to you to build the business, okay? By the way, there's a good book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. If you haven't sponsored some people, if you need to, I mean, I did sponsor a guy, the guy who wants to bring his family home, Gina was talking about, and he's only been in a month, and he said he's all out of all of his friends. I'm like, well, that tells you where you're at in life. If you only have a month's worth of friends, okay? Because me and her still are sponsoring people we forgot to put on our list. I mean, we still got people we haven't talked to yet. Don't compare yourself if you haven't got, I mean, if you don't have any friends, get the book. Because the whole book is about how to make friends, okay? So, now watch. Get there, get to this seminar. I'm going to be there, okay? And by the way, I got 4 kids. The last tournament that my kids were at before I started Monavie was at a World Championships in Moscow, Russia. Just before I went to my first meeting. 3 of my 4 kids competed, but all of us were there. So I could call the busy card, like Gina said, anytime I want. Okay? It's got nothing to do with claiming you're busy. If you want to get free, they're not. If Donald Trump was coming here, you can't say, well, how come he's not coming on October instead of September? You're going to have to figure out this is the date that we're having it. And you're going to have to clear your calendar and make a priority. We actually took our kids out of sports so we could make enough money to hire them the right coach, and now they're ranked number 1. Okay? So you see what I'm getting is you got to put things in perspective. If you're training your kid, and I'm hiring the best coach in the world to train my kid to play cricket, he's going to win. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So think about it. So come here, don't take it lightly, fill the form out. Now, next thing I want to just tell you is you set a goal. By the way, you see how much easier it was? What I was trying to get at is that I had 100 people in my group when I took my friend Matt to the meeting. Well, guess what? The 100 people were a lot more work that didn't go. Like they were complaining almost every day about what was going on in their business. Their bottle broke, they can't sponsor their, and they're like whining you. I can't sponsor my mom, nobody's getting in. You know, my friend Matt is going diamond. Every day I'm seeing him going through the ranks. It's so much easier when they come to Poland because the guys and gals know what to do and they just start making it happen when they get home. So you ask me how, it's a franchise. If the guys don't know how to run their company, then they're not going to succeed. It's like this. For some reason, the reason why it's not going to be as hard as you think to change people's perception of the industry is this. When I start Monavie, okay, people get into business. If I was going to start a restaurant or a soccer team, okay, let's just say we're starting a restaurant or a soccer team, we would pick the best chef we could afford. Do you agree? If we're going to win, okay? If we're playing a soccer team, we're going to pick the best soccer players we could afford to win. People get in Monavie, or anywhere in this industry from what I found out, because I've been in only for 6 years. Randy's been around for 30 years. For some reason, they look for the neediest people they can find. And then people that wanted to win. My friend Matt and Kim, they own their own construction company. They succeeded in their life. My dry cleaner, I didn't even know the guy because I ran out of my name very quickly. So I put down, every day before I go to bed, I put 5 people I'm going to talk to tomorrow. If you never had your own business, you never do that because you're waiting for someone else to tell you what to do. So in your own business, write that down, talk to 5 people tomorrow. Well, I went to the dry cleaner. I didn't even talk to the girl who I handed the dirty laundry to, Betty, right? I asked her if the owner's in. I've never met him before. I'd like to meet him. Hey, I shook his hand. I say the same thing to every person every time. Get one of my CDs or just listen to what I'm saying right here. All I do is say, hey, Betty came up and said, hey, here's the owner. His name is Bill. It was Bill, right? And I said, Bill, how you doing? This is Steve Merritt. If you ever read that book, How to Win Friends, it says compliment people. So all I ever done since I read the book is compliment people. I said, I just want to thank you for all the great laundry that you've done for us for the last 10 years. Okay? And then I didn't talk about the buttons that he cracked. You know what I mean? Okay? Right? Just great laundry. And I said, I know you own 6 of these. And I said, now this might be a shot in the dark, but most business owners build a company because they want to sell it one day. But they still need a residual income coming in, $500,000, $1 million once they sell it. I just heard about this Monavie juice. My friend Charlie has been promoting for 4 months. He's making $4,000 a week. It's making people look good, feel good, have their wives are looking younger. Have a taste of it. Do you ever think about a residual income? All the time. You know that he came to my house a day before the meeting was supposed to go on. He thought the meeting was that day. Was that excited? My friends took 2 years to get in. This guy I don't even know. But point is that he liked to win. I brought the owner to my meeting. I'm not trying to pick on Betty, because I was Betty. But if you want to win, you got to get past Betty. Okay? You got to start looking for people who like to win. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you might be bringing people like I'm bringing people, but if you're not bringing the owner, or you're not bringing someone that has succeeded in their life. Now, Gina and I weren't owners of any company at the time, but we knew how to win. You want to start bringing people. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Start looking for people that like to win when you're building your business. That's all got to do with this, your personal development. And by the way, if you just listen to the Black Diamond documentaries, I'm going to encourage Steve here that he has got to get the subscription program coming here because you all speak English anyway, so you could have the same exact program we got. I mean, you got to get people thinking. It's got nothing to do with them getting in right then or now, right away. It's got to do with them changing their perception of the industry and themselves, mostly. Get this. There's a last subscription that came out. It was called Bucket List. You know what you saw the movie Bucket List. We're going to check off all the different things you're going to do on your bucket list, okay, before. Wouldn't you rather do them at our age or your age than at 70? But we're going to have fun at 70, all right? I'm just saying that we're going to do it, okay? All I'm getting at is that we would want to take your guys' advice to say, hey, guys, you want to get this thing. Would you tell us that? Would you tell these gals here to go do this thing right now at this age?
Yeah.
Right? Well, right? And if it takes you 5 years, she said, of course. if it takes you 5 years to get it, let's just say it, okay? Because remember what I said, 10 years we took notes before this. We tried another one. For 10 years we took diligent notes and tried everything that we knew exactly what to do and who to look for. If it takes you 5 years and you get free for the rest of your life.
She's going for
okay? Are you with me on that?
Yeah.
So all I'm trying to get at is that don't be patient with yourself. The same thing I was listening to said, this very successful business owner said, people they want success too soon. They think if they don't succeed right away, then they're done. Take your time a little bit. Now you want a sense of urgency, you want to get it done, but understand that, realize where you're at. Now if you're young, here's what I did. Now Gina and I weren't the youngest, but we were young-spirited, so everybody thinks we're younger than we are, okay? We kept talking about my friend Charlie and Debbie Cal. We used their credibility. You use the people's credibility. We've got autographed pictures here, so we'll pass these out in a minute for everybody. And whether you're in our upline or not, you can say, hey, look, this couple came and they're succeeding, and they're going to say, well, you got to be first. No, they told us they weren't first. 50,000 people signed up before them, so that you don't have to be first. Well, you got to be sharp. Guy negotiates way to high school, you got sharp. Right? One of the top couples right here, they're building it, they're making it happen. Because I mean, when I went around, the reason why I made these pictures for you is because they'd say, well, do you know anyone that's successful this? Yeah, my friend Charlie. Who's he? Well, he's actually my friend's friend. Oh, you got a picture of it? No. They still sign up, but it was tough. All right? At least now you can say, hey, look, this is what's going on, okay? And we're gonna help you. They're coming here. They've been coming here regularly, and it's not just me. Conrad and Jill Padilla, some of our best friends, they're coming here. Okay, they're not in our line of sponsorship, but they're some of our best buddies. They're coming here. Someone here is under Onyx. She'll come here. I don't know what other groups. I know Cynthia Beal. Somebody said they're under Cynthia. Todd Hartog, Todd and Angelique will come here. We're going to get Charlie and Debbie Cal my upline. Who doesn't want to come to London and help some friends and enjoy the place? So all I'm saying is that there's a whole posse, Steve, in my upline. I just got to have a few more people. Now we're getting there. Okay? We start getting into the Olympic Stadium, I'll get a lot more people. Okay? All right? Okay. So, but you got to keep saying that. Everybody's getting in. That's probably the biggest thing I heard in Europe that Gina and I have done since we got in. Everyone's getting in. Take a picture of the room. Everybody's getting in. We need more chairs. Okay? So, get yourself here. Let me set a goal with you and then we'll wrap it up here. Little goal to get moving. Okay? Hopefully we don't knock this down. Okay? All right. What's this? Set a goal. By the way, I can tell you real quick, as long as I got on the subject, I know how much you can make on this if you have a goal. Would you rather me tell you? Now don't beat yourself up. Remember I told you only got 4 people to the first one. But once I figured out that the people that succeed come to this, in Poland, all right, here's what happens. You set a numbers goal as to how many people you're bringing. If you want to go silver, okay, I'm just saying, let's just start with bronze. You want to go bronze, you got to bring about 20 people to be bronze, okay? Bronze is like $20,000 a year in America. So, all right. So if you want to go silver, you got to bring about 30 people with you. Now they could be count as couples. So if you bring a husband and wife, that's 2 people. So you got to bring 30 people. Now again, don't beat yourself up. But if you want to make $50,000 a year, you got to bring 50 people. Okay, 50 people. It's pretty basic. 100,000 a year, 100 people. That's called Ruby in the business. The reason why I say that is I want you to build a solid business. We're not about this and like this. Steve can go on and check my number, 41669, and I hit crown every single week like clockwork, never miss. Okay? All right? So, I want to go double crown, but I got to push a few of you folks in London a little bit, right? Yes! Right? So, anyways, okay? But again, you got to have that attitude. We had no idea. Gina and I got in for $500 a week. We had no idea we were going to go on 26 free trips, make millions of dollars, and help our friends do the same. Start with what do you want? Let's get you $500 a week. Because I will tell you this much, once you get a little success, remember when the friends told me, my relatives, my aunts and uncles said, you're not going to succeed because you're not going to school? I'm the most talked about guy now there is. I mean, I'm on my 3rd bus. The bus that I drive around now is on the back of this thing. It's $2 million. Pre-bowl bus. I'm not trying to brag on that. I mean, all I'm trying to get at is that if you want a house, you can pay for your house because I got a bus. Does that make sense? Okay? So, what I was trying to get at here is this. If we could just get you to $500 a week, okay? Because once you start succeeding, meaning this, when I first went to Florida at 18, I wasn't even in contention for the U.S. ski team. After 6 months of training with some of the best coaches, all of a sudden they asked me to try out. Now, I didn't make it, but the fact that I was asked to try out, I knew I was going somewhere. I didn't have to have, I got so much confidence. Once you start making, I mean, when is the best time for someone to frustrate you or to steal your dream from you, like a friend? Sometimes your best friends can be the ones. It's when you haven't succeeded. So let's get you to 500 a week, because now all of a sudden you start getting a little more kick in your step. You know what I mean? Because if somebody in the room is going bronze, I don't care if it was star 500. That's the same thing we done to go all the way to crown. Gina said it. We did the exact same thing that we're telling you to do, and we haven't stopped doing it. We just kept personally sponsoring people. We don't look desperate. I called up my neighbor, and he's a pilot, and he said, he actually hung, God bless you, let me have a little more juice. All right. You know that I haven't gotten sick from taking Monavie, a bottle a day since I started. I haven't gotten sick. All right. From taking the juice. And if you talk to any doctor, they're going to tell you that the fastest way to get sick is traveling, okay? People are sneezing and wheezing everywhere, okay? And shaking people's hands. And as you can see, I've been shaking more hands than most preachers, right? And there's some people, I'm not saying London at all, but there's some countries that got some pretty sweaty hands, right? They like, and then they shake my hand. Slide right up to their armpit even sometimes, right? I haven't got sick. So it's another testimony for you. I don't have a crazy testimony. I just sleep better. My neck pain went away. I don't have my neck pain from all the whiplash falls I had. And my nails and my hair have never grown faster in my life. Now, I don't know anything about nutrition, but I think if your nails and hair are growing fast, right, something must be going on, okay? So if you got a nail biter friend, this would be a good gift for him, okay? All right, so you might not all see it. I'll try to explain it the best I can here. So watch this.
Say my nails are great.
Yeah. 20 minutes? Okay, good. Now, I'll kind of draw it out. Here's what we're going to do. Our goal is to get you to gold, okay?
Yeah.
Gold is a thing you got to go on the free trip. You know, like I said, it might not be the diamond trip, but the fact that you went on a free trip. Our first diamond trip, they went to Costa Rica, so it just kind of gave us you get around that, you got to get around the environment. There's 3 keys. Write this down. Read, listen, participate. What does any successful person tell you? That you're going to be like the people you hang around in the next 5 years and the books you read. So if we're telling you in our subscription program what books to read, I mean, ours in America is John Maxwell. He's going to be at our next function, and we got Dallin Larson on CD with 4 other distributors that have succeeded in the business. I think Onyx is on one. Gene and I are on one. Were you there at the event? No? Okay. So you can get the CD. Figure out a way to get these over here. There's got to be a way. Call Blake. Tell Blake, says Steve, say Blake, Steve said to get this stuff over here. Okay? And he'll figure out, one thing about Blake, I love Blake, all right? He figures out a way to get it done. So say, hey, how are we going to, at least by September, be ready so that everyone be on, maybe we can at least take orders. Who's going to be on the subscription? So we're all ready to go. I'm trying to do a little teaching up here to the corporate, but I'm just telling you what we need, because when you I didn't get to finish what about that bucket list. Here's what I was trying to get at, is that your friend has got so much dust on their dreams that when you go talk to them, they might not see it right then. I got so many that in 6 years have gotten in with me after the fact, that if I'd have had the CDs, I might not have got them in right then, but at least I got them in a little bit sooner. So if they didn't say specifically no, or don't talk to me anymore about it, and they let you keep giving them a CD, you want to start giving them the story CDs. What I mean by that is that Corbin and Holly talk about how he got his corporate job got cut by 2/3, and then they said he never thought that in this industry it was what it was. So he was like me. He didn't know that he was going to receive what he thought he was going to receive. Thought it was like a bunch of people having to wear like weird hats and outfits, like, you know, Tupperware type conventions or something like that, okay? He starts going through the bucket list of all the things that he's gotten because he's stuck in there with the Monavie Opportunity. Your friend needs to hear that, okay? Then if they don't get it right away from that CD, and you got to give them something like I just told you that would want to make you listen to it. Does that make sense? Well, I'm not sure if I could do it. Well, this guy was digging through garbage, and he has made millions with Steve, right? He was Mike Hernandez. Listen to him. And you give people their different stories. You don't know who's going to relate. You kind of know your friend better than I do, but you give them some CD to start letting them shock their thinking a little bit, because remember what I said at the very beginning? All of us have been taught here in London and in America by our parents, get a good job, sit in rush hour traffic, sit in a cubicle or an office, doesn't really matter. I mean, once you get to the big office, you're done. Right? What are they going to do then? Well, here's a rubber tree plant. That's exciting. I mean, what are they going to do? Okay? And they just give you like higher titles, but they don't really pay you. I mean, Gina would get a pay raise. Remember those pay raises you get, 4 cents or something like that. I mean, it's like embarrassing. I mean, wouldn't you rather get a pay raise of $1,000 a week? Okay? Anyways, so we were taught that, so you got to get them thinking a little different. Does that make sense? Yes. With the CDs. Why the CDs? Because they're not listening to you. Okay? I will tell you this much. Every person that I've ever answered that has asked a question, I read that book. Thank goodness I read that book. You got to get the book, How to Win Friends. Okay? And where it says compliment people. What does that mean? It doesn't. You know what's very take a lot of stress off for you. Now this will drive you nuts in London, but I'm just going to help you. You got to learn this so we get it done. When they ask you a question in any other industry, you got to answer the question because you got to let them know that you know what you're talking about. In this business, the more you know, the more they're afraid. Are you with me? Now there's a lot of sharp people in the back, you gals. I know you're sharp. Okay, this will drive you nuts. But the more you know, think about this. You're trying to make friends. So I will give you a tip. If you walk into a room and people scatter, you got a lot of work to do. Right? Okay? But watch this. To make friends, you encourage people. Hey, you know what? How many milligrams of glucosamine is every shot of active? I know you want to answer it, you know it, but it really is a tough question because it's like, first of all, just compliment them and say, hey, that's a really good question. But when this does make sense. As good of a question that is it depends how big your shot is. So how do you answer it? Okay? It's a great question, but even if you don't know the answer, that's why the person who's brand new today, they can go build this. They don't need to know how to know the flip chart perfect. They just got to flip it. You don't need to know nothing. People that have a dream, Gina and I didn't understand everything when we decided we're going to build it. We're just going to go start building it. People want to know that they got a good question. Okay? And like, geez, I never had anyone tell me I had a good question for a long time. Remember, not making friends. And you're saying to me, I really like this guy. Even though he doesn't know the answer to the question, I still like him. I'm going to sign up with him. Most people, now this makes sense. You want to answer the question. Now what? Guess what? They're going to have another question. And another one. Pretty soon you get 3 to 4 questions into it. What are they doing? They're kind of slow. Who's feeling better about answering the questions? You or them? You. Look at how much I know. Okay, well that's exciting. Anybody ever go on a free trip or a trip with a know-it-all? They're fun. Okay? I'm just helping you out. This could be little things you're doing wrong that that's a good question. I like this guy. Okay? So you might even want, if you really think you got to know the answer and you want to answer it, so just before you answer anything, ask them a question to see if you really need to answer it. Hey, that's a really good question, but you mind if I ask you a question? No, ask me. Well, why do you need to know how many milligrams of glucosamine in every shot? I don't know. Well, I'll tell you what, when you figure that out, come and ask me. In the meantime, I'm trying to get my wife a free Mercedes. Okay? Get a little bit. Understand? You want to put your meetings on your so that you're going to know you're going to win. Why don't you book 3 one-on-ones? 80% of the people sign up on a one-on-one. You going to the people in Monavie, or they first saw it on a one-on-one, versus a home business review. Why do I say that? Because it's so much easier to go to your friend. I mean, if you're your cousin, you drive over to. I mean, I called my cousin and signed him up. I didn't even go to his house. So if it's your friend, you just go to their house and you drink with them, flip the chart, sign them up. At least they heard it the first time. Why are you going there? To talk about their dreams. You're drinking with them to talk about their dreams. Hey, the product, you lead with the star of the show. It helps people look good, feel good, makes your wife look younger. Okay? In the meantime, let's drink the juice. What is your dream? That's what it does. So the reason why we're all going to drink it is to get our dreams. Really? Okay? If I did that on the phone and tried to invite you to my house, I probably couldn't talk to you like that. You'd be saying no to not to come to my house, because probably if you gave me the phone right now to your friends, I've been in for 6 years, and I try to call your friends to come to your house, I would have a hard time getting them to your house. Because they're going to ask me all kinds of questions. The only thing that's going to get out of your mouth or my mouth when we talk to them is Monavie multi-level, nobody's coming. But if we go to their house and find out that they don't want to do it, you qualify. Keep drinking, right? Oh, that's a good question. Hey, the reason why we're here is not because you want to do it or not. The product is off the chart, and it's helping people get their dreams. It's a vehicle to get you where you want to go sooner than later. Really. That's why everybody came here tonight, or today, because they want something more out of life than what their boss is offering or their career or their job. That's why they're here. Well, guess what? If you went on the phone and you invited people and they said no to Monavie, they're not saying no to their dreams. But if you go to their house and you talk to them first and say, hey, look, in 6 days, my wife Gina and I are going to have a home business review. Here's where it's going to be. I'm going to have a printout from the computer professionally where it's going to be. Now, here's how it works. If you sign up now, everybody that we sign up, so if this is you, we're going to sponsor 2 people. The third person has to go underneath one of the first 2. And then it goes just like this. So Gina and I, when we got in 125 days, we put 20 people to the right and 20 people to the left, everybody underneath everybody. So the sooner you get in, like if we haven't even got anyone in yet, we're going to have a tasting party at our house, and whoever gets in is going to get underneath everybody. So if you're the first one in, we're going to put the people underneath you, and you get paid up to $10,000 a week. What is that, about 8,000 pounds? 7,000 pounds a week for the people that you don't know. Give you a word picture. Here's my 2 brother-in-laws, because I signed up my cousin and my mom first. I hadn't signed up anyone for 90 days. Once I went to that meeting, they said in order to make money, you have to sign up 2 people and get them on auto ship, or they got to get product, okay? So I called up my mom, was the first one that I called. Call somebody easy if you're a guest. Just call your mom up, okay? I even owed her money and she still got it, right? Then I called my cousin, my best man at my wedding, my best friend. They both signed, they're my friends. I just called them up. I mean, I'm not trying to pick on you, but we're actually watching you to see who you are. Because if you can't get 2 people in the first 48 hours, something's wrong. Are you with me? It's your friends, it's your parents, it's your... okay? 2 people. Now, as I'm going around talking to my friends, I'm going to say, hey, look, here's how it works. The sooner you get in, the sooner you can make 7,000 pounds a week. Watch what happened to Steve. Use my story. His 2 brother-in-laws got in at Thanksgiving. Remember I told you? I actually put my mother-in-law in as well, okay? So my 2 brother-in-laws and my mother-in-law all signed up at Thanksgiving. The next week I signed up Onyx, all right? And I'm not very good at inviting people. I just invited her. My kids babysat for her, so I didn't even know her personally, just knew that my kids babysat for her. And I'd seen her when she dropped her kids off at our house. My friends are just as tough as your friends. She said she was going to come 3 times and she didn't show up. Anybody have that happen? Okay? Now, if you read the book, How to Win Friends, it tells you to tweak what you're saying if you keep getting the same results. So I said, when she said the 4th time, well, anyone heard her story? She just told her story this past convention. And it's going to be on the CD, the subscription CD. She said that she didn't give Steve and Gina an easy time. But then Steve called her out and said, hey, you know what? My teenage daughters, 3 of them, have been watching your 3 little daughters. And guess what? I said to her on the weekends, the kids go out. You don't have teenagers. You don't know. They go out. I've been watching your kids for the last 2.5 years. So you owe it to me. Get over to my house. Right? So she comes up. She said her story this past week, a couple weeks ago. She said she came up there with her nose up, like, what am I even doing this? She came here, said, there's this many people. It was about 25 people at her house. This is everybody in Palm Beach. This is everybody in London. You know what? She told me, can you get over to our house? Can you get over to my house tomorrow? I want to get in this thing. And from then on, she signed up 100 people in 5 days. Okay? So, one of the meetings was when I got the marker taken out of my hand. Okay? But guess what? The next night we did a meeting and I showed the plan. Okay? I just got smarter. Give you a quick tip on this. When you go to your friend's house, if I'm coming to Anna's house to do a get-together, all right, I'm going to let her tell her friends what she likes about the product and the opportunity. I'm just there to flip the chart real quick because the credibility in the room is with her friend. She's got the credibility with her friends. Don't try to be a big presenter or do what I'm doing here. You just talk and I said, Onyx is going to tell all of you what she loves. This is the next night. Never got the marker taken out of my hand again in my life. All right? I said, she's going to tell everybody what she likes about the product and the opportunity. And she went on and told them, and I flipped the chart real quick and said, hey, let's get in. The sooner you get in, the sooner you get to the top of the tree. I did that for 5 nights in a row, and we signed up 100 people. It was like a herd of cattle every single night because I told them, get in. The sooner you get in, the sooner you get to 7,000 pounds a week. And my 2 brother-in-laws get paid up to 10,000 a week. My mother-in-law, she's 77 years old, walks in a walker, handicapped, has made $3,000 a week for the last 3 years in a bad economy. doesn't even have a good attitude. She's got a better attitude than when she wasn't making $3,000 a week. But I mean, I don't mean to call anyone out or make you mad that my mother-in-law, who's handicapped 77, is making $3,000 a week and you're not. But if she can, you can do it. Does that make sense? Okay? So here we go. Because I put her in there, what if my 3 brother-in-laws and my mother-in-law would have got in after Onyx? Then she would be above them and they'd be underneath them. That's what you tell your friends. I even called people up and said, hey, look, we're going to have a home business review on Tuesday night. Tom, I know you can't make it. You live 5 hours from my house, but here's what happens. Whoever gets in before everybody else, all the people tomorrow night are going to get put underneath you, and you get paid up to £7,000 a week. Sign me up. Then I went down to the package ship to ship the package because I had my product. I was ready. I not only would encourage you to get the 500 PV, but I would actually encourage you to get 2 or 3 of the 500 PV. Why? Because Monavie's already proven itself. I've proven it that we're going to be here with you. That should really give you some confidence, or you could be scared because you might not want to think that wouldn't you rather get in with someone that's been in for 6 years and not going anywhere? A company that hasn't missed paying anyone $1 billion. Every single Friday they haven't missed $1 billion. 60 years of experience between Dallin and Randy. Okay? Well, the key, you can have the confidence when you're talking to somebody that, hey, this is what's going on, and you can, that should help you sponsor somebody a lot faster than when we got in. So that's what I'm trying to explain. Hey, if you're talking to 3 people and they say that they're thinking about it, so I talked to this person, that person, and this person, they're all like thinking about it. They didn't say no to me, I'm giving them a CD. Guess what? When I talk to the 4th person and you say, hey, I'm ready to go, I'm going to go back to this person and say, hey, look you know what? I know you're not quite sure if you want to get in here or not, but remember what I said? I've got this application of my one friend that wants to get in, and it's right here. And you can actually make up to £7,000 a week if when I put her in. But I haven't punched her in the computer yet, but I'm about to. Are you sure you could? Make sure, get everybody around their family too. If you're talking to a gentleman, get his wife in there and say, you sure you couldn't use an extra £7,000 a week for some new shoes, right? And they'll get in. Okay, now what? Now I got 2. Before I punch him in, I'm going to go to the next person. Hey, you sure? I got 2 people that are going to go underneath and you get paid up to £7,000 for the people I get in. And I'm going to get him. Sign me up. The next one, sign me up. I got 4 people just in because they were thinking about it, and I went and before I punched them in the computer, got all of them to get in. Just giving you a heads up, that's what I would do. People are actually looking to see how serious you are. It's like this. If you own a flower store, and I own a flower store, and I don't have any flowers, we order them. You get them in about 3 weeks. And you have flowers in your store, who's going to have more business? You are. It's the same thing in Monavie. People get in, they try to get as cheap as they can. This is the cheapest way to $10,000 a week or £7,000 a week you'll ever find. And the only thing you got to do is understand, compare it to what you'd have to invest in to start a company or a franchise. 3 kits are cheaper than 1 for yourself and 2 to be ready for the first 2 people that get in. They're looking at you. Well, I'm not sure if I want to get in, or I want to get 200 PV. Well, I got 500 PV in my car, my back seat. Okay, I want to get in. People are looking to see it. When I do a home business review, we set it up, and they come right up and say, hey, I want to get the kit. Who's first to get it? Because I'm ready. People really want to know. Does that help you a little bit?
Yeah.
It's very, probably the biggest mistake people have made in America. Okay. Biggest mistake people have made in America, and it's probably carried on over here. This will help you a little bit. Is, remember what I said? They asked me, how did Steve and Gina get where they're at? They knew who they were looking for. What do you mean by that? What I mean by that is I'm looking for someone who wants to get free, and they pretty much know the way to get free is to have your own business. But they haven't found a vehicle to get in their own business at a price they could afford. Well, even if you don't have enough money for the 500 PV kit, which is £500, or let's just say 2 of them kits. Well, that's what we were. Gina told you we were broke. But we didn't tell anybody. Right? We said to ourselves, man, we are mad that we don't have £500 in our pocket. We're going to get in. We're figuring if we're already that broke, what's another £500? Here's our credit card. We prayed that it went through, and it did. I'm telling you that we're looking for people that want to have their own business, and they understand how much cheaper this is than any other business. The risk to reward is so much greater, but you're going to have to get some stake in the game. Going to Poland is a lot cheaper than £50,000 for your own business or £200,000 for a franchise. The money you're going to spend is pennies compared to what you'd have to invest. But I'm telling you, you got to go. Getting an extra kit's not that big a deal compared to what you'd have to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm trying to help you on that. That's probably the biggest thinking. Everybody wants to get in as cheap as they can, but that means that you're not talking to the right people. If that's the way you're talking to them, let me give you a word picture on that. I was in Orlando where we live, and I was talking to a meeting like this, and there was one person that had signed up, but they didn't put them in the computer yet, and there was a brand new couple. Okay? I mean, two of the people that I knew were in the room, okay? When I got done, both the couples came up, or the gentleman came up and the couple came up and said, you know what, I want to get the 500 PV kit like you talked about. And the other couple said, I want to get the 500 PV kit. Well, that just told me that people were been telling them, people actually more appreciate you being honest with them and telling them that, hey, yeah, this isn't going to be easy, but it's simple. I mean, wouldn't you rather me tell you that than, oh, we don't have to do nothing. No, we're going to have to do something. We got to go to Poland. I got to go too, right? I'm going to go because I want to meet all your new people. And you're going to bring all your new people up to me and say, hey, here's my new friend John. John, you stick with Steve. He's going to help you build it. You see what I'm getting at? It's a whole, you just got to learn this a little bit, guys. It's not that difficult. When you come up, now that we've met, you're going to bring your friend up, bring your 6 friends up to me in Poland. Could be 10, could be 20, but you're going to introduce them to me. Do not leave without introducing them to me. If you got a guest here tonight, I introduce everyone to Charlie, my upline, when they come to my house. And I say, hey, Charlie, here's my new friend Bob. He'd say, Bob, great to meet you. You need to stick with Steve. He knows what he's doing. He's building this thing. Him and Gina are going to be big in this. So I'm going to tell that to your friend when you bring him up to me. And guess what? You learn what I'm saying. You do the same thing for your people. It's a very simple way the way it works. But if you don't get that, is that a little thing you might not have got? All I did was tell everyone that they had to come meet Charlie. And then Charlie got there and said, hey, you got to listen to Steve and Gina. God bless you. All right? We're going to be rich here in London, okay? Watch. I'm here to tell you, if I don't get to talk to every one of you, that whoever brought you here, they got their head in the game. If they brought you as a guest, you better take this serious because they're going to put somebody in tomorrow. You don't know if they're... My brother and sister, well, they actually... I hadn't put anybody in. It wasn't like the next week. It was like a couple weeks after Thanksgiving because I had been inviting Onyx. Nothing happened for a couple... My sister-in-law is a toughie. She's Gina's sister, right? And she said, how come you didn't put nobody in underneath me yet? I'm like, be patient. We're still talking to people, so it didn't happen that fast. But once you get someone like that, you don't know. 100 people in 5 days. I said, hey, how are we doing now? Right? She's trying to catch up. She's still trying to catch up to me. Okay? Right? So, okay. I'm going to send you gold and we're done. All right? Watch. Well, we're going. Hopefully a little bit that I've said you're starting to get a little bit. We know people got stuff and everything. Okay? All right, watch. So you get in the business, this is you. Our goal is to get you to, let me just use American numbers, you switch them to pound or whatever, but let's say 1,000 a week, okay? It's gold in the business, $50,000 a year, free trip to Greece, and a, what's the bonus? $5,000, right? $5,000, oh, $1,000 bonus, $1,000 bonus, okay? On top of that, you're going to get a bronze bonus, a silver bonus, and a gold bonus, okay? So you get all that. So what do? And I'll try to explain on this when I'm right up here. You're going to first get in and sponsor this is a 90. You know, I'm going to change it to 75. We got 75 days till then. Okay, so I'm going to change this to a 75-day goal because I really believe if Gina and I can go gold in 6 weeks with this momentum, maybe not the first time I came here, but this time I come, we can have people getting this done in the next 75 days. Maybe in 6 weeks we do 75 days. Right? Break it down. Think of it like a franchise, okay? Think of it like you're opening up a bunch of Subway stores or Dunkin' Donuts, whatever you got here, okay? Just think of it that way, right? You're going to have two different attitudes. You're going to have a different attitude than anybody else has. If I got to put everybody in myself to get my wife home from work, I'm going to do all the work, okay? And if it's going to be, it's up to me. My upline came and helped me about 4 times. Why do you think I got the marker taken out of my hand? Because I said, guess what? I got to go help. The first meeting that was embarrassing was when my friend Matt and I did our meeting together the first time at my house. He told me he was going to do the plan. We didn't even have a flip chart. Now you've got a flip chart. He forgot his wife's name. They've been married for 30 years. Stood up there. Here's my wife. Looked like a deer in the headlights, ran off. Now I'm going to do it, okay? That was our first meeting. We each had like 10 people there. They all signed up. I think they felt sorry for us. The first time I did the meeting for someone else was when I got the marker taken out. All I'm trying to get at is that you're going to have to realize if it's to be, it's up to me. Nobody is going to, if I could do it for you, I would, but I'm only here for this short time. You're going to have to learn what I taught you and understand that if you look at our Facebook fan page, we're going to do a meeting whether you're there or not, so you should do the same thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, we're trying to just show you that, hey, we're doing it. Okay? Now again, I really am trying to change people's perception of it. I mean, Donald Trump isn't sitting around doing nothing. Warren Buffett isn't sitting around doing nothing. So don't say, hey, how come Steve and Gina are doing nothing? No, that's not our personality. We want to help our friends and we love a challenge. So get excited that our goal is to make it easier for you. My friend Will just wrote, this book here can help change people's perception. He's telling you that there's 1 billion people out of work. It doesn't matter how successful the companies in America and around the world are, they're never going to have a job. There's not enough job openings for everybody to have a job. We're going to have to think differently. It's all about the cottage baby. He calls it micro-entrepreneurship, right? That's what he calls this, right? And it's all about changing people's perception. Let them read the book. We're out there. We're figuring out ways. Mark McDonald being in Monavie. You don't know what Jeff Cohen is going to come up next. I keep teaching them, hey, we got to teach people that, you know what? Even if you have a big office and you got a view, I'm in the view. I want them in the view. Can you somehow draw that cartoon out or something so we can digitally, or we can get it out to people that, hey, we know you don't want to do it, but you want to be in the view. Use it as a vehicle to get in the view, not what does Onyx say? She said there's more gals making over 80,000. What is it?
100,000.
100,000.
85% of the women in America are making over 100,000 network marketing.
So 85%. And why are we here? I brought Gina here because I wanted you to relate to her perspective. I mean, we're saying, hey, look, learn from us. Here's a gal in the industry. She was when my kids were babysitting for Onyx. She was on the radio every day, and she was in real estate when she was teaching people about real estate on the radio so when she speaks, people listen because she was successful before Monavie. Yeah. Our goal is to pass me up, I believe, okay? Which is good. I'm just saying, you want people like that. My friend Matt passed me up, okay? But then I passed him up, so no problem, okay? All right, now watch. By the way, have that attitude. If you break a blue diamond, you got to break 3 blue diamonds to go black. You have to help 3 people go blue diamond. What you want to do is have 2 on the right, 1 on the left, or 2 on the left and 1 on the right. But you want to break 3 people to blue diamond for you to go black diamond. So if somebody goes blue diamond and you're a gold, you already got 1. You only got to find 2 more. So that was I had a little smirk on my face. Even though he passed me up, I only got to find 2 more. Okay? So I already know how to do 1. Wow. See, you first want to help 1 get there, then you know how to do it. Stop thinking. Remember what he said? Don't try to be so successful so quickly. Just have the sense of urgency. It's going to happen. You're going to sponsor somebody that's going to put 100 people in 100 days. But look for someone that is successful already. Does that make sense? Okay? Yes. Now watch. To get you to the trip to Greece, the next 25 days, I changed this yesterday or a couple days ago in Germany because we got 75 days to get this done, okay? But if I can sponsor 2 people, my mom and my cousin, in an hour, you can sponsor 3 in 25 days, okay? The P's are personal people, so you're going to sponsor 2 personals, help them each get their 2. So you got to take them and help them get their 2 people. I've already pretty much gone over how to invite, but I'm going to do one more time. Your personal people are in your cell phone. It's so much easier. I'm not saying that 80% sign up on a one-on-one. I'm saying that's their first time they hear the opportunity. Okay? Then they might come to something like this, or a home business review. But you're going to go to the person, and you're going to tell them why they should get in now after you talk to them, you drink the reveal, you know when you go over there what they might be more interested in, the reveal, okay? Your uncle might walk like this, you know what I mean? You talk about the reveal. How about you talk about the juice, you know? Your other cousin might be like this. You talked about the reveal. You figure out, this isn't rocket science, okay? So, you're drinking there with them. And you're saying, hey, what do you want to get you can't get doing what you're doing? But you just drove over. You don't make a big deal to go over to your mom's house. You just drive over, okay? Now, if it's your friend that might own a pool business or some kind of company, they might be a teacher, you just say, hey, look, I got something, Susan, you got to see where you at. I just want you, hey, what is it? Be ready for that. What is it? Hey, you know what? Would you agree that weight loss is a big thing? It's a big deal right now. In America, every other minute, there's a weight loss commercial on TV. One of the hottest industries. Yes, well, I got something you got to see. You drive over there. Hey, I just heard about the fastest billion-dollar company in the history of America. Our friends of ours came over from Florida. I couldn't get you over to the get-together because it was too short a notice or whatever. I got something you got to see. And you drive over. Can you do that? Yes. Just drive over to the person's house. Again, if I said to you, hey, I'm going to come to your house and I'm going to do a home business review, call everybody you know. That isn't a very easy call. But going to the people is not hard. and drinking with them and talking about what they want. You know most of the people in your cell phone what they want out of life.
Yeah.
That's what you want to. You want to dust their dreams off. We have a CD, right? We still have Randy's CD here. It's called Your First Look. You could use that to get some, drop the CD. Our goal is to hand out 3 of those CDs every day to people that are qualified. Okay? So you're looking for people that want something more, right? So you're just going to go to your friends and you're going to get them and tell them what's going on about the business. Now then you want to say to them, hey, if you get in before the home business, I have a printout of when my home business review is going to be for me and my wife. Okay? So it might be like 7 days from now. You only have to do about 4 or 5 at your house. Are you with me? Because then you're going to be busy helping everyone else do them at their house. Why do you say that? A lot of people, I'll just throw this out because it might be, somebody might be thinking about this. They say, every Tuesday night for the last 2 years, we have a meeting at our house. That's not what we do. We go to the people's house that are in our group because none of my friends are going to go to someone else's house and their friends aren't coming to my house. Now, once they're in the business, they might, but I'm talking about for a first-time look. You want to be doing at your house, then your goal is to get into the next person's houses. So you go there with a printout, and you go and you talk to them, and then you tell them, hey, look, we're going to have a home business review, but hey, if you get in before the business review, you get paid like my friend Steve's family, up to £7,000 a week, whoever gets in at the home business review. Some of them will say, okay. Some of them will say, I'll meet you there. Hey, bring somebody with you. Here's a couple extra brochures or extra flyers to come to the home business review. So my goal is to get myself a couple people sponsored before the home business review and talk to about 10 to 20 people personally. Now, guess what? When I talk to my friend, I might go help him talk to his 2 people. What do you do for that? You might even say to your friend, hey, you know your neighbor real good? Can we just go over there and drink with them, talk to that? How about your mom? How about your cousin? Go to those people. If it's someone that they know from church or they know from work, then you just call them up and say, hey, look, do you mind if I make the first phone call? Because I know what to say. Here's all you say. Hey, Bob, this is Steve. You don't know me, but I'm here with John, your friend. He says you're real sharp. That's why we're calling you. Really? Okay? We got something you got to see. You at your office or your house. Well, what is it? Hey, the fastest billion-dollar company just came over here to England. We got our head in the game. We know what we're doing. The hottest industry in America is weight loss. Around the world is obesity and weight loss. We got something that we're onto. We want to come over. Just be ready for when they ask you, what is it? Then you drive over there, you drink with them, talk about their dreams, flip through the chart. You might not have time to flip through the chart. You're just talking to them and say, look, we're having a get-together at John's house. You might have them Randy's CD to pick up from them tomorrow. Your goal is just to get over there to talk to them a little bit about their dreams and break the juice and say, hey, look, here's what's going on. You go help your friend sponsor 2 people by you going to them. That's what I mean by not looking online to see who's doing anything. You're going to take, remember what I said? Here's my brother-in-law right here. I got him to $1,000 a week before he did his first meeting. He led me to people. He said, hey, Steve, this guy's you might be interested. This guy, he led me, and I helped him get to $1,000 a week before he started making money. So, okay, that's your first 25 days. You're going to put this on your refrigerator. There's 2 things you do when you break out of here. One is, you decide that you're going to go to Greece. Get a travel magazine, get a picture of Greece, get online and get that, and put your picture and your wife's picture up there on the refrigerator. Or should I say, I'd rather have it on your bedroom mirror or your bathroom mirror. On the refrigerator, you're going to set this goal right here. In the next 25, because you get what you picture. We're going to Greece for free. Okay? Make Steve pay for our trip to Greece. Okay? All right? Then we're going to sponsor 3 people in a month and help them get their 2 people. Yeah. See, if you got the circles laid out, remember I said? Yeah. You got to fill them in. Okay? What do you do the next 25 days? Now remember, every person that you talk to, I'm not going to go over this again, you talk to them about their dream. And if they said they didn't want to get in, great, you qualify. And if they said that, hey, they're still not getting, say, well, yeah, I guess you're not that serious about getting around a rush hour traffic. Every time you're in rush hour traffic, think of me. Yeah. Okay? So don't ever complain because you said you want to do it forever. Yeah. Okay? Now, the next few months, it gets easier, the next 2 months, because people will be calling you. My pilot that hung up on me, I didn't look desperate, I didn't even call him back. His wife, who's a flight attendant with Gina, bumped into her at the grocery store. How's Monavie doing? We're making $5,000 a week. I don't know what my husband, Bozo, was thinking. We're coming over to your house and we're signing up. Now they've made their pictures in here now. Okay? You see what I'm saying? It's going to be easier if you call out their dream, not get them to say no to a bottle. Okay? Even an opportunity, they don't know. They think the opportunity really, what do my brother-in-law think? Selling bottles. So they don't even know what they're saying no to until they come to one of these. So, okay, or you do a home business review. Now watch. The next 25 days, which is going to be 50 days into it, you're going to take it, put 2 people on this side, personal, and you're going to help those 2 get 2 people. Okay? You already did it the first month, do it again the next month. Right? And by the way, can you have the attitude, you know Paulo Ono in the Olympics a couple of years ago, 4 years ago, whatever? What did he say in his interview? He said, when he decided to go for a second Olympics, he said before he laid his head on the pillow every night, did I put everything I have, this is what Gina tells everybody, did I put every single thing I got into me getting that gold medal before I put my head on the pillow tonight? Can you say to yourself, did I go see 3 people today? Did I do everything that I got? And if you didn't go see those 3 people, get out of bed and do what Gina did. She just sponsored a doctor in our town at the emergency room. Her mom had something wrong with her head. She's okay, don't worry. But she went over to the hospital and talking to the emergency surgeon, who's the head surgeon, says, of course, I'm tired of seeing all these patients. What do you got? So she came back, woke me up at 2 o'clock in the morning and said, we got to go over there, he's waiting for us. So I get out of bed, all right, and I go over there with her, and of course, remember what I said about the caliber of the folks, the people you're looking for, that if they're looking, they're open, if they know how to win. A doctor knows how to win. By the way, let me give you a heads up on this. It's going to be great, very good for everybody in the room. The reason why you want to have that personal development is because the next people to get in Monavie in London, right here, are going to be professionals that it took a while to succeed in their career, meaning that they had to go to school, because when someone's just around for a year or 2, they can't count on their credibility for their industry, or should I say, they put so much into their career that they can't just go on some deal that might have been around for 2 years. But 7 years of paying $1 billion, never missing paying anyone for 7 years, now that's something they can get their hands around. Okay? So if your personal development is big enough that you could talk to the emergency room physician, like Gina did, we walked up there, the first gal we meet is at the counter. Now this is the difference between the person who's the emergency room doctor and the physician. It's just like the guy who just got in that owned the 4 FedEx trucks, okay? He actually saw the Monavie bottles in the Subway store that my friend owns. And he said to the clerk, what's Monavie? Okay? And she said, well, I don't know nothing about Monavie. You get what I'm saying? The owner knows about Monavie. When we got to that hospital, the little clerk there behind the table said, the doctor doesn't want to see you. He's got patients. No, I was just here. He wants to see me. Go back there and tell him I'm here with my husband. She comes back out and says, oh, he does want to see you. I can't believe it. Won't believe it. We walked through all these people in the emergency room. Gina used to be a dental assistant. She was good with blood and everything. I wasn't. But we got back here. We're talking to this guy. They're knocking on the door. Doctor, you got people out here. Wait a minute. All right? He's all fired up at 2:30 in the morning in our business. I'm just telling you, this hotel is open around the clock. There's a hotel manager someone's praying to get home with their family. Okay? There's people out. Before you put your head on the pillow, let's give it at 25 days everything you got. I'm telling you right now, you put everything you got, and then when you sponsor somebody, I'm not going to come on, don't expect me to take you by the hand. Charlie didn't take me by the hand. I'm talking to a bunch of winners in the room. You want to know what we did. We took my friend Matt out on his pontoon boat and went and talked to his friends on the lake one day. Then when I got done with the boat, I got in his pickup truck and drove around in his truck and talked to his friends. Take responsibility. How do you think our house went from 8 people to 20 people to 60 people to 160 people? Because we went and showed you how to go talk to your friends. Now guess what? When I showed you how to talk to your friends, then you said, well, that's all you do, then I can go talk to my friends. Someone's going to, if you have the attitude that if I do all the work, I don't have a problem doing all the work, someone else is going to say, well, guess what? I'm going to do what he's doing. Because he's not sitting there watching me, he's doing it. So then my brother-in-law felt guilty that he was making $1,000 a week and he didn't do anything. It's like, what if I did another $1,000? What if I did a little work? He's made $1 million. Now he was my broke brother-in-law. So if you're anywhere from broke to a millionaire, like my 2 brother-in-laws, you could do it. Right? Okay. Now watch. That's the next 25 days. Help everybody get there too. Okay? Now this is statistics from the company. People that have put 5 people to the right, 5 people to the left, preferably on the 500 PV pack, okay? You're going to be looking at gold in the business, if not further, okay? So, now the next 25 days, it's going to get easier because why? People are calling you. They can't stop thinking about you because they're in rush hour traffic, okay? And you're going the other way with your bottle. Hey, how you doing, right? Okay. Now you're going to put 4 people on each side and help them get there too, okay? And you keep your personals to the outside. I'm just telling you what I did. I kept mine to the outside, everybody underneath everybody. If you feel sorry for somebody, you put a personal on the inside, meaning that if this is your friend and you know he can't sponsor anybody, so you got another friend that's very sharp and you're going to put him right here, guess who you just ripped off? This friend. Because you're telling me that this guy can't sponsor anybody, and if you put somebody right there, that means you're going to not only have to build 2 legs like me, but you're going to have to build 3 legs. Now, who else do you feel sorry for? Another one over here? Now you got 4 legs, okay? You're never going to create the momentum that Gina and I created, and you're going to be helping everybody. You're connecting the dots, okay? If you talk to Brig, Randy, Blake, or Brig, forget about it. They're going to tell you 20 people to the right and 20 people to the left. I'm just telling you. That's what they're going to tell you. So this is how you brought me here today. Now check with your upline if they're teaching you something different, but I'm telling you what I did. I put 20 right and 20 left in 125 days. It starts getting easier when you call them on the screen. You set a goal that this is what you're going to do for the next 75 days, and you're going to be with us in Greece. When is the date for Greece, by the way, when we're going? October. That's when I'm free, because we want to go on the October Greece trip. We want you all there. And I want everyone to say, hey, remember the time when you came to London? You know, about 75 days ago? Or wait, it's going to be a little bit longer because that's the qualification date. And by the way, I'm not trying to pick on Steve. Almost every time that they've had a qualification date, they've extended it. So you never know, okay? You never know what they're going to do. Run, like Gina said, run for your life, and you might be at halfway between silver and gold, and they say, we'll give you 2 more weeks. You don't know, okay? Just remind them what I said. Right. All right, anyways, look at what you get over here. I mean, $1,000 a week. Again, this is U.S. $1,000 a week, $50,000 a year, $1,000 bonus. Now you got a $250,000 bonus and a $250 bonus and a $500 bonus and $1,000, all added up to get you to gold. Hopefully you can put this on your refrigerator. Hopefully you put a picture of you and your wife in Greece, and you start picturing yourself moving through the ranks. So hopefully Gina's going to pass these out. Hopefully we helped you out a little bit. We'll stick around. Oh, sorry about that, okay? You're going to be big in this because you're just like me. So anyways, we're going to stick around. Steve's going to make a few announcements. We enjoyed being here. We can't wait to come back. Let's put to work some of these things that I taught you. Don't only be thinking training or work. People want to be around fun people, all right? They want to be attracted to hang around fun people. So you know what? You're going to have to use what we've done. I'm telling you, use the upline and the people that have succeeded, whether they're your upline, our upline, say, look, if these guys are all having a great time, hey, run for the Poland black tie event. I'm just telling you, try to do your best to get to the black tie event, because, I mean, we were in a palace, a castle last event. You guys deserve to eat in a castle, okay? I don't know where they're going to be, but have to be kind of better. So, Steve, take it over. Great seeing you guys. We'll stick around.
Gina Merritt.